It's Sentinels hockey time tonight from Hamilton Community Ice Arena in Columbus, Indiana. The Sentinels take to the ice in Federal Prospect Hockey League action against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Sentinels hockey is brought to you by Sprague Hotel Developers. I'm Jim Mirabello. The Sentinels have won 4 out of their last 5 and are coming off their first home victory of the season. A thrilling come-from-behind 6-4 triumph over the Watertown Wolves this past Saturday night. And the Sentinels, in winning 4 of their last 5, have climbed out of the bottom spot in the Federal Prospect Hockey League standings. The Sentinels are now ranking 12th out of the 14 teams in the league, jumping ahead of the Biloxi Breakers and the Baton Rouge Zydeco in the overall league standings. And while the Sentinels have been surging, their opponents tonight, the Blue Ridge Bobcats, have been going in the opposite direction. They've been struggling, losing 6 of their last 7 and 4 in a row. Their most recent outing was a 7-1 thumping at the hands of Port Huron. Their last victory was 5-4 at home over Watertown back on Sunday, the 14th of December. The Sentinels should be flying high after being able to enjoy their Christmas holiday week fresh off their first victory at home, and that came last Saturday night. The Sentinels led 2-1 after one period on goals from Nolan Dawson and Ryan Glazer. Watertown swung the game to its favor, though, in the second period, outscoring Indiana 3-1 in the middle frame to take a 4-3 lead into the third period. Ashton Colasso had the lone Sentinels goal in period number 2. Things changed, though, quite a bit in the third. The Sentinels and their power play owned period number 3. Watertown got into penalty trouble, and the Sentinels made them pay for it. The Sentinels ran a string of 3 power play goals to jump ahead for good. Denver Craig at 6:45 of the third period scored to tie the game at 4. And then Ethan Esposito at 9:29 of the third for the go-ahead goal, and the goal that turned out to be the game winner. And then Craig scores again at 19:39 into the empty net to seal the 6-4 win. Nolan Dawson and Ashton Colasso each had 3-point nights for the Sentinels. Colasso with a goal and 2 assists. Nolan Dawson with a goal and 2 assists as well. 2-point nights for Denver Craig, Ethan Esposito and Ivan Panovanov. Craig with 2 goals, Esposito with a goal and an assist, and Panovanov with 2 assists. John Werber relieved starting goaltender Chris Kerr to pick up the win in net, and it was the first home win for the Sentinels in 10 tries this year. 1-8-1 is their home record. And the team that they nearly beat for their first win is their opponents here tonight. Indiana and Blue Ridge got together on the 29th of November. Very tight game, 2-2 at the end of the third, and then in overtime, Justin Daly scored the game-winning goal 35 seconds in to spoil Indiana's bid that night for its first home win. The Bobcats scoring a 3-2 overtime victory that on the 29th of November, a night earlier. The Bobcats won it over the Sentinels 7-4, and the 4-game regular season series between these two teams will come to an end this weekend. They'll play one another tonight and again tomorrow night, and that'll be the last time that they see one another during the regular season in the 2025-2026 campaign. The Sentinels, through 22 games played, have a record of 5 wins, 12 losses, 2 overtime losses, 7th place in the Empire Division with 17 points in the standings, 4-5-1 in their last 10, but winners of 4 of their last 5. Indiana 66 goals for on the year, 109 goals against, a difference of 43. They've racked up 506 minutes in penalty time on the season. And the Blue Ridge Bobcats have also played 22 games. They are 8-13-0-1, 1 overtime win, 26 points, 6th in the Empire Division, 75 goals for, 90 goals against, a difference of -15, and they have racked up 581 minutes in penalty time on the year. The Sentinels will have a couple of new faces in the lineup tonight, and they are forwards James Reiser and Juwan Davis. Reiser is 6'2", 200-pounder out of Sterling Heights, Michigan, has a good bit of experience in this league. He played in the league, which was known as the Federal Hockey League at that time, from 2011 through 2014. And then last year was with the Poughkeepsie, New York franchise, the Venom. And he is signed and is expected to be in the lineup for his Sentinels debut tonight. Juwan Davis also expected to be in the lineup tonight for Indiana, making his Sentinels debut. 5'9", 175-pounder out of Detroit, Michigan. And Juwan Davis, a young player, a great prospect, played collegiately at New England College. Last year, spent some time with Danville in the FPHL. 37 games with the Dashers, 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points on the year, and 34 minutes in penalty time. Played 1 game with Blue Ridge last year and 8 games with Danbury. And he comes on board to join the Sentinels here tonight. For Indiana, we will see Chris Kerr getting the start in net tonight. 6 foot, 190-pounder out of Alberta. And this will be his 7th appearance of the season. He started the game last Saturday night. John Werber came on in relief. And Kerr gets the start here tonight, 4.07 goals against average. The Sentinels will have in front of him defensively to start Richard Colarusso along with Colin Tracy. And the line up front of Denver Craig, Ethan Esposito, and Noah Hippolyte Smith. Those are your 5 starters for the Sentinels. We will have the opening face-off in a moment, but first, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and Bobcats
The Sentinels will attack left to right here in period number one, wearing their Sentinel dark blue jerseys, white numerals, gold trim. The visiting Blue Ridge Bobcats in the white jerseys with the gold numerals and the blue and the black trim. Starting lineup for the visiting Blue Ridge Bobcats. Hunter Barostek gets the nod in net. Barostek will be making his 21st appearance of the season. 4-6-0 is his record, 3.94 goals against average. 6'1", 185-pounder out of Alberta. Robin Erickson and Carson Andrioli are together on defense. And the line up front, Milan Brezko with Nicholas Stuckless and also joining them on the front line, Nikita Kazirat. And it'll be Stuckless on the opening faceoff for the Bobcats. And Noah Hippolyte-Smith will stand in to square off against him. Puck drops, game is underway. And right up the draw, Craig knocks it ahead into the Blue Ridge end. Sentinels after it, but the Bobcats managed to poke it ahead and out to center. Over toward the Sentinel bench area, Tracy with it, wheels it in deep right on net. From long range at center, 15 seconds into the game. And it'll be stopped by the stick of goaltender Hunter Barostek. He hangs on to it to force a face-off right off the bat in the Blue Ridge end of the rink. The officials tonight, the referees are Chris Hoy and Chris Rowe. Scott Gillespie and Jeremy McWalter are the linesmen. Bobcats control the face-off, send it long through center. It'll be played by Chris Curran behind the Sentinel net. Sentinels try and clear, kept in. Right point fired from long range. Kerr the stop. On the long shot from the right point by Carson Andrioli. They get it back to Andrioli, right point again. Shoots deflected and knocked aside by the right pad of Kerr. Fired again from the near side and they score. Big blast from the left wing side on net was deflected on the way in, and the Bobcats strike first, take a 1-0 lead. The slap shot blasted from the near side by Robin Erickson, and it appeared to be touched in front. 41 seconds into the game, Blue Ridge is on top 1-0. So Erickson certainly with a hand in the goal, and we'll see if he gets credited for it or if it was deflected in front. But on their second shot on goal, the Bobcats cash in, and they've taken a 1-0 lead, and they control the face-off to resume play, and the puck cleared up over the boards and out of play. So we'll face it off again, and it'll be right at center circle. Sentinels have Nolan Dawson out here now on the right wing side. Ashton Colasso at center for the face-off. Ryan Glazer on the left wing side. Draw one by the Bobcats. Puck fired by Andre Simonchek deep into the Indiana end. Puck rolls in behind the Sentinel net. Strong forechecking pressure applied by the Bobcats. Simonchek trying to free it up. Does get it toward the front of the goal. Knocked away by Ponovanov. And then grabbing it and clearing it is Vlad Pavlov back down deep into the Blue Ridge end. So that'll take some pressure off. And the Bobcats with the 1-0 lead, settling things down on their own end. The goal will go to Erickson, and that'll be his second of the season. Robin Erickson, 6'3", 225-pound defenseman. Cashing in. Reller chasing after a loose puck now on the Sentinels' end. Marian Pazitka gets there first, tries to clear. Kept in along the right wing side by Justin Daly. They wheel it in behind the Indiana net. Sentinels gain possession, and they'll clear it out to center and down deep into the Blue Ridge end, and this will be an icing call against Indiana. And they'll bring it back down deep into the Sentinels' end for the face-off. With 1:52 gone here in period number one. Ashton Colasso ready on the face-off. Stick side of Kerr. Draw one by Martin. Back to Klinecki at the left point. Dealing it in deep right wing corner. Off the boards. Pazitka plays it to the near wing to Terrain. Outlets to Dawson. Rolled off his stick. Dawson, though, stays with it. Able to settle it down near center red. Challenge now. Puck taken away. Martin's got it. Sentinels and shoots. And that's off the stick of Pazitka in the high slot. And up over the glass. And out of play to stop the action now. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Into period number one. Team leaders coming into tonight in the goal category for the Sentinels. Ryan Glazer is tops in that department with 12 for Indiana. Justin Daly with 11 for Blue Ridge. Assist leaders for Indiana, Ethan Esposito, Vlad Pavlov with 11 each as the puck comes rolling in toward the Blue Ridge net as we resume play, and it'll be covered and held onto by Verostek to stop play. So Esposito and Pavlov leading the way in assists with 11. Michael Mercurio and Nikita Kazirev with 16 each to lead in the assist department for Blue Ridge. Point leader for Indiana, Ethan Esposito, averaging almost a goal a game, 17.6 goals, 11 assists. Brandon Reller, point leader for the Bobcats with 25 on 10 goals and 15 assists. Penalty minute leader for Indiana, Nolan Dawson, 37. Justin Daly for Blue Ridge with 55. And in the power play goal category, Denver Craig, Ryan Glazer with 4 each to lead the way for the Sentinels. Daniel Martin, Daniel Klinecki with 4 each for Blue Ridge. Those are your team leaders in each category heading into tonight. Puck in deep near side Sentinels territory. Noah Hippolyte-Smith frees it up in behind the net. And Ponovanov will nudge it ahead back to Hippolyte-Smith. Tries to outlet on the right wing side. Tried to get it through to Juwan Davis, making his first shift in an Indiana uniform, but it's knocked away and dealt back down deep behind the Indiana net. Outlet feed to Craig with speed through center. Shoots it down deep, gets behind Verostek in the Blue Ridge net. And behind the goals, he tried to play it, but the Bobcats come away with it. Romano, Indiana end. Tereller fanned on his shot. Puck rolls into the right wing corner, Sentinels territory. Bobcats keep it alive. Right point, Justin Daly handling it there. Daly nudging it along the far boards, trying to get it through to Damon Ferusat, but the Sentinels intercept and they clear. 1-0 Blue Ridge on top early in period number 1. Sentinels get it ahead. Colosso after it on the left wing side. Takes his man into the boards. Stepping off the boards with a Glazer in front of backhander. Scores! That'll tie it up. Ryan Glazer, Indiana's leading goal scorer. 4 minutes and 3 seconds into period number 1. Makes a nice move off the left wing boards. Comes in front, slides it home, and gives the Sentinels their first goal of the night. Answering the goal 42 seconds in, scored by Erickson. And Ryan Glazer for Indiana in his 18th game notches his team-leading 13th goal of the season. Glazer returned to the lineup on Saturday night. 5'10", 175-pound forward from Quebec. And he gets the Sentinels on the board. Here in period number 1, assisting on the goal, Ashton Colosso. That'll be the lone assist on the goal. Good work by Colosso to help set that play up from the left wing boards. And Glazer able to come to the front of the net and finish it off to tie the game at 1 for Indiana. Puck in deep near side, Sentinels in, Terrain. Knocked it out to center. Bobcats play it back in again, offside. And that'll stop the clock now. 4 minutes and 34 seconds into period number 1. 3 shots on goal for Indiana, 1 for Blue Ridge. Juwan Davis out here now. On the left wing side, Jonas Lease at center. On the right wing side, Dalton Anderson. And the Sentinels with Richard Colarusso back on defense with Colin Tracy. Bobcats quickly on the attack from the faceoff. And they send it wide to the Sentinels net. Is bearing in down the right wing side with Stucklitz. Now Stucklitz putting it back in front. A scramble in front of the net, and the Sentinels clear it out of danger. Kept in though, Erickson. His shot blocked by Lease. Jonas Lease after the puck near boards. Dug free and then fired out to center by Richie Colarusso down deep into Blue Ridge territory. Puck in deep in the right wing corner. Carson Andrioli after it. Works it along the near boards, and a big hit by Dawson at center as he knocks Bresco off stride right near the Blue Ridge blue line. Dawson at 6'5", and the Sentinels with a puck. Here's Craig, a wrist shot from high out on the left wing side, sails wide of the net. Craig battling to keep it alive on the right wing boards. And we've got a penalty coming up. It'll be our first call of the night. And it is going to go as a hooking call at 5:35 of period number 1 against the Bobcats. And the Sentinels will go to work on the Haas Insurance power play. Milan Bresco sits down. 2 minutes for hooking at 5:35. Special teams, the power play for Indiana, converting at a rate of 18%. And the penalty kill for Blue Ridge, successful at a 77% rate on the PK. And the power play was such a huge part of the Indiana win last Saturday night. 3 power play goals in the third to rally them from a 4-3 deficit to start the period. All 3 goals scored in the third were on the man advantage. So the power play really clicked, especially in the third period on Saturday night, and we'll see if they can keep that going here tonight. Scoring on the Indiana goal, Ryan Glazer, his 13th goal of the season, team leading 13th. Ashton Colosso assisting. That's the lone assist on the goal. Even strength at 4:06 of period number 1. Shots on goal, 4 for the Bobcats, 3 for the Sentinels. Milan Bresco is in the penalty box. 2 minutes for hooking, and the face-off will be in the Blue Ridge end. It'll be to the stick side of Hunter Morostek. Power play unit out here for the Sentinels. Glazer, Dawson, Colosso, Terrain, and Tracy. Terrain and Tracy working the points. Colosso ready on the face-off against Brandon Reller. Left wing circle, they battle for control, and the Bobcats get to it and just promptly whack it through center deep into the Indiana end. Kerr out of the net to settle it down for Tracy in behind the goal. Step to the left of the net. Room to work. Outlets Colazzo on left wing. Rink wide pass to Glazer. 2 men back. They poke check it away. Terrain keeps it alive in deep left wing side. Rolls it along the boards to the right wing side. Tracy trying to race over, but getting there first and clearing it for Blue Ridge is Andre Simonchuk back into the Indiana end. Terrain back to pick it up from Kern. He'll start the rush to center. Romeo Terrain across the blue line now. Double team, puck knocked away. Sentinels keep it alive. Glazer centers, intercepted in front. And that'll enable the Bobcats to clear it all the way down deep into the Indiana end. Penalty clock malfunctioning right now. It hasn't moved off the 2 minutes on the board against Brezco. The Sentinels still have some time to work with. Ethan Esposito up right wing. Skates with it in deep behind the net. Plays it to Colasso left wing. Back to Esposito. He's been on fire lately. Now to the left point to Pavlov. Off to Panovanov right point. Pavlov now takes the pass. Shoots a riser. Blocked on the way to the net. Esposito left wing boards. Battling to keep it alive. Play in deep left wing corner. Blue Ridge territory. Bobcats with it. They cough it up. Panovanov in the high slot has it. Drops it off left wing to Pavlov in front. Colasso shoots, and that's deflected, bounces high in the air and just wide of the net. A good chance there for the Sentinels. Puck cleared though by the Bobcats now deep into Indiana territory. Kerr speeds things along with a pass to Esposito. He'll wrist it in deep into the Blue Ridge end. It comes off the boards. Bobcats get control. They clear it out to center. The Sentinels, it was very close along the blue line, bring it back in. Pavlov does, but it'll be an offside call against Indiana. And the officials over to address the scenario with the time on the penalty clock. Brezco went at 5:34, so he would be off till the 7:34 mark time remaining. And that means the penalty is just about to expire now, and it does as Brezco steps out of the box and the penalty is over. Teams at even strength. Game tied at 1. And the Bobcats move the puck through center. PJ Demetrio sends it in deep and behind the Indiana net. Off the board, Sentinels get to it. Clearing attempt by James Reiser is broken up. Reiser is in his Sentinel debut tonight, wearing number 11 on that Indiana jersey. And he's out here now with Juwan Davis, the 2 newest members of the Sentinels. Out here on the ice together right now. Puck in deep left wing corner, Indiana territory. Bobcats gain possession. They try and center, but right there, stationed well to intercept is Colasso. Clears it ahead. Davis after it on right wing. Davis slowed down in the right wing corner by Carson Gallagher. And the puck will be cleared by the Bobcats out to center. Driven from center by Colasso back down deep into the Blue Ridge end. Game tied at 1. 11:22 remains in the first period. The Sentinels are looking for their first win over the Blue Ridge Bobcats after falling to this team in overtime the last time they got together. Bobcats unable to get it in deep Sentinel territory, but they'll get another chance at it now as Daly gets to it at center. Plays it in deep, knocks Tracy down in the left wing corner. Tracy quickly back up as they jam away at it in the area in behind the Indiana net, and Glazer gets to the free puck on the backhand, sends it out to center and back into the Blue Ridge end of the rink. Justin Daly out here. 11 goals on the season for Daly. He's their one of their top contributors on this team. Their leading goal getter with 11. Also the penalty minute leader with 55 as the puck is held onto by Kerr as it was sent in on the Sentinel net. Kerr grabbing possession, and we'll have a face-off in the Indiana end of the rink with 9:28 gone here in period number 1. Ryan Glazer for Indiana at 4:06. Robin Erickson for Blue Ridge. 42 seconds in, and that's the goal scoring thus far. Shots even at 5. Sentinels rip the puck through center as we go back to play. It'll come in on goal to negate the icing. And covering it, taking no chances, Hunter Barostak in net. And that'll bring a face-off about in the Blue Ridge end. It'll be in the right wing circle to Verostek's glove side. Craig for Indiana out here on the right wing side. Noah Hippolyte-Smith and Ethan Esposito are the line combination up front for the Sentinels. Indiana controlling Craig with a puck, putting it toward the net, and that's wide on the stick side low to the ice on Verostek, and the Bobcats clear it back into Indiana territory. Pavlov with it, defenseman for the Sentinels. Vlad Pavlov, pro status on the contract, one of a handful of players with some veteran experience for the Indiana Sentinels. Loose at center, Craig trying to get to it. He's upended, and a penalty will be called. It'll be a tripping infraction against Blue Ridge, and the Sentinels will go back to work on the power play. Nikita Kozarev tripped up Craig, and it'll be a 2-minute minor for tripping at 10:06 of period number 1, and the Sentinels will be on the Haas Insurance power play now for the second time tonight. So Nikita Kozarev off in the penalty box for Blue Ridge. The Sentinels have avoided the penalty box themselves so far. And it'll be chance number 2 on the Haas Insurance power play. We mentioned a little bit earlier how Ethan Esposito has been on fire for Indiana. He has led the Sentinels surge of late. The 5'11", 200-pound rookie forward has 8 points over his last 4 games and is averaging nearly a point per game this year. 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points in 18 games with the Sentinels. And it's great to see that offensive production coming together up front from the likes of Denver Craig, who had a big night on Saturday night, Esposito as well, Nolan Dawson, 6'5", 215-pounder. And the Sentinels will send power play unit number 1 out here. Dawson will be on the ice with Glazer up front. Sentinel power play unit powwowing in front of the bench. Now we're ready to go back to hockey. It'll be Dawson, Glazer, and Ashton Colasso up front. Romeo Terrain and Colin Tracy will work the points on the power play. The face-off will be in the left wing circle of the Blue Ridge end. Colasso will do the honors for Indiana against Brandon Reller. And the draw won by the Bobcats, and they'll waste no time clearing it out through center and back into Indiana territory. Tracy with it in behind his own net. Haas Insurance power play chance number 2 for Indiana, tripping minor at 10:05 to Nikita Kozarev. The puck caroms into the Blue Ridge bench area. Out of play as the Sentinels tried to play it in deep, and the question is, did the Bobcats direct that puck up over the boards and out of play? If so, they're going to get more penalty time. The referees Chris Hoy, Chris Rowe are gathering with linesmen Scott Gillespie and Jeremy McWalter. And there's a minute 39 to go on the Nikita Kozarev penalty, and they're going to get another one for delay of game. And this will be a 2-man advantage for Indiana. You cannot directly play the puck out of the playing surface area. If you do, it's a minor penalty, and that's what happens to the Bobcats right now. 5-on-3 for Indiana. Great chance to take the lead. They get it to Tracy off the faceoff. Off to Colasso, left wing corner. Now to Tracy at the top of the left circle. Tracy moving that puck in deep. Feeds Colasso off to Terrain, rips one right on net, and a good stop is made by Hunter Barostek, and he'll hold on to that. 1:24 left in the 2-man advantage time, 1:46 in the power play time in all. 5-on-3 and a golden opportunity for the Sentinels. Colasso on the face-off, draws it to the near boards, Terrain with it, steps back toward the blue line. Delivers to Tracy. Feeding Colosso. Lower edge left wing circle. He centers. Broken up in front by the Bobcats, but they can't clear. Terrain keeps it alive to Tracy at the center point. Looking, shooting, save made. Rebound. Dawson on the backhand has scored and puts Indiana on top. Nolan Dawson at 6'5" and 215. So difficult to move from in front of the net area. And excellent at screening the goaltender, and Dawson gets to the rebound, scores on the man advantage. That'll take the first minor off the board, and Indiana will still have power play time to work with. And the Sentinels are on top 2-1. So the tripping minor went to Nikita Kazirev at 10:05. He'll be able to step out of the box. And on the delay of game minor against Denis Radchenko, 1:20 remains on that. So Indiana is still on the Haas Insurance power play. Nolan Tracy, who took the initial shot, will get an assist on that goal. Romeo Terrain assisting also on the goal scored by Nolan Dawson, his 4th of the season. Here's Craig through center up right wing. Craig with a burst of speed, shooting one right on net, level of the ice, and down to make the glove save. And hang on to it is Hunter Verostek. 53 seconds now to go on the power play for Indiana. 8:25 is the time remaining in period number 1, and the Sentinels are on top 2-1 on goals by Nolan Dawson and Ryan Glazer. Anderson ready now on the face-off for Indiana in the right wing circle. Glove side of Verostek. Sentinels control. Esposito with it behind the net. Feeds to the left wing boards. Handling it there, Colarusso. Back to Esposito. He'll crisscross with Colarusso and hand him the puck. Colarusso, left wing board. Shoots one. Right in front. Craig was there. Couldn't find the handle on it. He would have had an empty net had he been able to settle that down. Craig with it again in behind the goal. Denver Craig for Indiana. Centers in front. Shooting is Indiana's coming in from the point. Anderson, and the stop made. And the puck held on to by Verostek. Excellent opportunity there for Dalton Anderson. 5'9", 187-pounder out of Ontario. As they got him the puck, moving right down the slot. And the stop made by Hunter Verostek. 7:57 to go in the first period. 24 seconds left on the power play time for Indiana. Colosso on the face-off now in the right wing circle. And he won the draw. Back to Terrain. Fakes the slap shot. Feeds it left wing side. Pazitka fires one, and a stop made by Verostek, who's got to feel like he's in a shooting gallery right now, as the Sentinels have just been peppering him with shots. They've got 13 now against him. And Verostek seeing his team jump ahead 1-0. And they now find themselves down 2-1. The go-ahead goal, a power play goal. Nolan Dawson. Indiana controls the draw. 13 seconds on the power play. Off the left wing boards, handling the puck is Ashton Colosso. Dawson out here in the side of the net area. Craig with it now from behind the goal, trying to center, broke it up. Dawson has it to Terrain, right point. Penalty about to expire. Terrain, long shot deflected in toward the net and stopped by Verostek. And the Bobcats clear it out to center. Team's back to even strength now with 7:21 remaining in the first period. Erickson skates through center, up left wing, Indiana end. Tight angle shot on the save made by Craig. We've not had to call his name much recently. Chris Kerr in net for Indiana, making his fifth stop of the night on 6 shots on goal. And the Sentinels managed to get it in deep into the right wing side of the Blue Ridge end. 2-1, Indiana leading. The Bobcats dump it right back into the Indiana end. Ponobanov able to clear it to center. Juwan Davis after it for Indiana. He'll get a shot off on the right wing side. Quickly on net, and the stop is made by Hunter Verostek. He holds on, and with 6:43 to go in period number 1, we'll have a face-off in the Blue Ridge end. Same 2 teams tomorrow night. Final game of the regular season series between Indiana and Blue Ridge. 7:30 Eastern time face-off tomorrow night. And the Bobcats from the face-off in their own end come up with it, and it'll be played through center. Left wing into the Indiana end by TJ Demetrio. Left wing corner, Panovanov up with it. Tries to outlet long range on the far wing for Esposito, but intercepted by the Bobcats. They get it toward the side of the net. With it there and shooting is Gallagher. His shot blocked. Puck in the left wing corner. Gallagher trying to dig it free. Gallagher working hard along the near boards. Noah Hippolyte-Smith, though, able to knock the puck away from him. And then Vlad Pavlov able to force it out through center and back down deep into the Blue Ridge end. Exactly 6 minutes to go. Period number one. Sentinels on top, 2-1. Sentinels with it. Esposito deals it down deep in behind that Blue Ridge goal. Bobcats come away with it. And it'll be worked to center by Demetrio. Sentinels knock it away at center, shoot it right back into the Blue Ridge end. Dennis Radchenko in behind his own net, sets up shop. Now he'll leave it in behind the goal. Or Andrei Simonchuk takes over. Moves it to the right of his own net. And then delivers on right wing to Igor Romanov, whose attempt to drive it in deep hits the stick and caroms over the boards and into the Sentinels bench area and out of play. With 5:24 remaining in period number one. Well, the Sentinels played very strong, disciplined hockey last weekend, especially on Saturday night and most notably in the third period. And they could have been goaded into a few things, but refused to let that happen and let the power play do the talking for them. And they've stayed out of the penalty box so far here in period number one. Blue Ridge has picked up 3 minors in the first. The Sentinels have struck on the power play and building this 2-1 lead against them as the Bobcats roll the puck toward the Indiana net, and it'll be stopped and held on to by Kerr. With 4:57 to go here in period number one. So 3 minors against Blue Ridge here in period number one. A hooking call at 5:34. To Milan Brezko. They successfully killed that off, and then they got in some deeper penalty trouble at 10:05 on a tripping minor against Nikita Kazirev, followed up by a delay of game that created a 2-man advantage. And Dennis Radchenko was set off for playing the puck forward and out of play over the boards and into the bench area. If it caroms out, it's fine. If it hits glass, if it hits boards, if it hits another player and goes out, it is not a minor penalty, but if you shoot it directly out, it is. And that's what happened there with Radchenko creating the 2-man advantage penalty time and the Haas Insurance power play opportunity for Indiana. And they scored on that 5-on-3. Nolan Dawson with a goal, his 4th of the season. Colin Tracy, Romeo Terrain assisting on the power play at 11:04, and that's the goal that has the Sentinels on top. Indiana 14 shots on goal, Blue Ridge 7. Faceoff comes up in Sentinels territory. It'll be to the glove side. Off Chris Kerr. Ashton Colasso is ready on the face-off. A pair of number 27s going at it. Nicholas Stuckless stands in against him. To Kerr's glove side. Right from the draw, Stuckless put it on net. Stop made by Kerr. Stuckless went right to the net from the face-off. The initial shot was blocked. Stuckless got it back, fired it on net again. Kerr alert, right with it, able to make the stop and hang on to it, and they'll face it off again in the Sentinels end of the rink in the right wing circle. They're actually going to move the face-off outside the Sentinel blue line. With the Bobcats continuing to crash the net at the whistle, so the face-off comes outside the Indiana blue line. And they jam away for control of it right in front of the Sentinels bench. And it's knocked free down deep into Indiana territory on the right wing side by Milan Brezko. Colin Tracy rounds up that puck in behind his own net. Tracy, Indiana defenseman, 6'3", 183-pounder out of New Hampshire. Good size, good presence on the ice. Outlets left wing Glazer, skating smoothly to center, and now will backhand it in deep into the Blue Ridge end. Andre Simonchuk back to get it. 4:18 to go. First period, 2-1 Indiana. Puck carried now by Romano through center. Left wing into the Indiana end. Steers it in behind that Sentinels goal. Romano going after it himself, but Panovanov comes up with it. First opportunity for Indiana and settles the puck down for Vlad Pavlov in behind his own net. Pavlov steps to the right of the goal and delivers it to Panovanov. Long outlet right on the stick of Anderson, but he had a little bit of a hard time settling it down at the blue line, and it'll result in an offside call against Indiana. Had Anderson been able to do so, he would have had a burst of speed and a step on the defense into the Blue Ridge end quickly. From the face-off, Sentinels control. Anderson able to deal it back to Panovanov. He works it ahead to Anderson on right wing at center. Puck backhanded by Anderson into the right wing corner of the Blue Ridge end. Sentinels giving chase, comes to Pavlov. Long shot, tipped just wide. Juwan Davis out here for Indiana, wearing number 6 on that blue Sentinel jersey. Had a tip attempt in front, but couldn't quite direct it home. The Bobcats start the attack now, Indiana territory. Left wing side, a backhander goes off the side of the net by Gallagher. After the puck, Gallagher keeps it alive along the right wing side, Indiana territory. Cross ice pass broken up. Good effort in the defensive end by Dalton Anderson to get his stick on that and force it back out to center. Shot from center ice by Michael Redmond back down deep into Indiana territory. 2:54 left first period. Outlet feed to Craig just beyond his reach right wing. Craig hustling in after it. Noah Hippolyte-Smith also. But the Bobcats come away with possession. Martin brings it out to center. Works a pass across on the right wing side to Andrioli, firing it toward the net wide on the glove side. Picked up near wing shot back on goal. And the stop made on the attempt by Gallagher. Up with it, Gallagher again as the Bobcats try and mount some sustained pressure. They've had very little of that here in period number 1. Puck sent by the Sentinels down deep into the Blue Ridge end with 2:19 to go. First period, Indiana on top 2-1. After falling behind 1-0 early, they shook that off and struck for 2. And here's Craig at center, slowing down the Bobcats as they try and move it ahead. Second attempt at it though by Daly, and he'll fire it into Indiana territory. Terrain with it. Over to Marian Pazika, left wing boards. He'll send it around the horn to Terrain once again, near corner of his own end. Feeds Pazika open on left wing. He'll start the rush to center. Delivering to Ashton Collazo at his own blue line. Collazo double team, puck knocked away by Reller. Across down to Rusath, and he shoots it wide of the Indiana net as he was pressured by Terrain. Sentinels get it to Dawson at center. 1-on-2 now into the Blue Ridge end. A shot by Dawson quickly from the left wing circle wide of the net. Puck caroms out to center. Collazo with it. Steers it back into his own end to Colin Tracy. Puck fed by Tracy on left wing into Blue Ridge territory. 1:16 to go in the period. Collazo up with it down right wing. Nice drop pass for Colarusso. Top of the right circle. He tries to center. Bobcats intercept. They rush back the other way. Brandon Reller, right wing. He has Gosirev cutting to the net. Feeds Kazirev. He shoots, and the stop is made by Kerr. A great stop by Kerr. On the bid to tie the game, Nikita Kozirev down the left wing side took the pass from Gallagher and in tight with a wrist shot on the stick side. Kerr moving directly across to his right, able to shut the door, make the save, and keep the Sentinels on top 2-1 with a minute to go here in period number 1. So a big stop there by Chris Kerr of Indiana. And as we said, we've not had to call his name too much here in period number 1. But put a star beside that one, a big stop by Kerr on Kazirev to keep the Sentinels on top as we dip down under a minute to go here in period number 1. Puck sent all the way down deep into the Blue Ridge end, and the Bobcats have it. Nicholas Stuckless deep in his own territory, clears the center. It went off Pavlov's skate at center, and then Anderson tries to settle it down. Pressure applied by the Bobcats. Panovanov away with the puck, clears it out to center. 35 seconds to go here in period number one. Sentinels on top 2-1. Bobcats from their own territory. Daniel Klinecki starts up right wing. Hit slowed down in front of the Sentinels bench. Kept alive though by Kazirev on right wing. It was robbed just a minute ago. Now from the right point, a long blast by Klinecki wide of the net, and the puck cleared off the carom and out to center ice. And the loose puck at center. Sentinels after it. Lees gets to it. Down to 7 seconds to go in the period as he feeds it in deep into the left wing corner. Blue Ridge end. Bobcats are content to clear it out to center, and time will run out here in period number one. But a good period for the Sentinels, especially after they gave up the early goal to rebound from that. And they're up 2-1 after one period. Blue Ridge jumped on top 42 seconds into the game. Robin Erickson getting his second goal of the season, defenseman in his 22nd game in a Blue Ridge uniform. Even strength goal. Nicholas Stuckless and Carson Andreoli assisting at 42 seconds of period number one. Sentinels would strike back, tie the game. Leading goal scorer Ryan Glazer at 4:06 of the period. Set up by Ashton Colasso. Even strength goal at 4:06 of period number one to even the game at 1. And then the Sentinels cashed in on the power play at 11:04 when they were on a 2-man advantage. Nolan Dawson gets his 4th goal of the season. Colin Tracy assisting Romeo Terrain as well on the power play at 11:04 to give Indiana a 2-1 lead. And they make that lead stand up, and a big part of making that lead stand up was a huge save that Chris Kerr made on Nikita Kazirev in the closing moments of period number one. Nikita Kazirev, 3 goals on the season, and had a great chance to tie the game, but it was denied by Kerr. And Indiana is on top 2-1. The Sentinels were 2 for 1, or 1 for 3 on the power play in period number one. And the power play goal that they got came when they had the 2-man advantage. At 5:34, a hooking minor was issued to Milan Bresko. The Bobcats were able to kill that off. And then at 10:05, penalty problems mounted, a tripping minor against Nikita Kazirev, followed up by a delay of game minor 21 seconds later against Denis Radchenko, and that created a 2-man advantage opportunity for the Sentinels, and they cashed in on the Dawson goal. The power play goal, giving Indiana a 2-1 lead, and his goal coming at 11:04. So 6 minutes in penalty time in period number one against Blue Ridge, none to the Sentinels. Indiana outshoots Blue Ridge 14-10 in period number one, and they lead it after 20 minutes. So that's the latest here from the Hamilton Community Ice Arena in Columbus, Indiana. Sentinels hockey brought to you by Sprague Hotel Developers. The Indiana Sentinels are aiming for their second consecutive home win and their sixth victory overall as they take on the Blue Ridge Bobcats tonight at Hamilton Community Ice Arena. And as we get ready to start period number 2, the Sentinels have a 2-1 lead over the Bobcats. Sentinels hockey is brought to you by Sprague Hotel Developers. I'm Jim Mirabello at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena in Columbus, Indiana. FPHL out-of-town scoreboard, the Binghamton Black Bears continue to just roll right along. They've got the longest current win streak in the league right now. They have won 12 in a row, and they are up 3-0 in the first period on the road tonight in Watertown. The Binghamton Black Bears, 19 wins, 2 losses, no overtime losses, no overtime wins, 2 shootout wins with 61 points. They have a 22-point lead for first place in the Empire Division. The Black Bears' only losses this year came on the 14th of November, 5-3 at home against the Athens Rock Lobsters, and November 1st, 4-1 on the road at Port Huron, and those are the only blemishes on the record for the Black Bears, who are aiming for victory number 20 tonight, and they are up 3-0 in the first period against Watertown. Athens Rock Lobsters tonight are on the road against the PD Ice Cats, 2-1. The Rock Lobsters have the lead, and that is in the second period. Also tonight, the Twin City Thunderbirds taking on the Columbus River Dragons, 0-0 in the first period. Topeka Scarecrows are on home ice tonight against the Monroe Moccasins. That one is 0-0 in the first period. Baton Rouge Zydeco on the road tonight against the Biloxi Breakers down on the Gulf Coast. And it is 1-0 in favor of Baton Rouge, and that is in period number 1. And there is one other game that was on the agenda tonight. The Port Huron Prowlers were to play at the Danbury Hat-Tricks, but that game was postponed. We're not sure the reason why, but the game between Port Huron and the Danbury Hat-Tricks has been postponed here tonight. Well, we talked about how hot the Binghamton Black Bears are to run away with things in the Empire Division for the moment. Over in the Continental Division, the Monroe Moccasins have won 7 in a row. They are 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. And the Athens Rock Lobsters are hot on their heels. The Rock Lobsters are 8-2-0 in their last 10. They are coming off a loss, but they still have a 1-point lead over Monroe in the race for the top spot in the Continental Division. So the 3 hottest teams right now, Binghamton winning 12 in a row, Monroe winning 7 in a row, And the Athens Rock Lobsters 8-2-0 in their last 10. Teams struggling at the moment. The opponents for the Sentinels here tonight, the Blue Ridge Bobcats, they have lost 4 in a row, and they are 3-7 in their last 10. And in the Continental Division, the Biloxi Breakers are really struggling right now. They have lost 4 in a row. They're 2-8 in their last 10. And they were trailing at last word 1-0 in the first period tonight against the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Here it's 2-1 Indiana. First period goals scored by Indiana's Ryan Glazer. Team leader in goals, gets his team leading 13th of the season. Even strength at 4:06 of period number 1 to tie the game. Ashton Colasso assisting. Denver Craig assisting as well. And then the Sentinels took the lead on a 2-man advantage power play goal at 11:04 of the first period. Nolan Dawson with his 4th goal of the season. Colin Tracy assists. Romeo Terrain assisting as well on the power play to give Indiana a 2-1 lead after the Bobcats had taken a 1-0 lead 42 seconds into the game. Robin Erickson getting his 2nd goal of the season. Nicholas Stuckless and Carson Andriola assisting even strength 42 seconds in to give Blue Ridge a 1-0 lead before Glazer and Dawson answer for Indiana. The Sentinels outshot the Bobcats 14-10 in period number 1. They were peppering Hunter Borostek at times, especially on that 2-man advantage power play. And Chris Kerr in net for Indiana. His biggest stop of the night came late in period number 1 against Nikita Kazira in a bid to tie the game. So Indiana carries a 2-1 lead into period number 2. And the Sentinels will be defending the end of the rink to our right. Chris Kerr making his 7th appearance of the season in a Sentinel uniform. Ready to go at net down to our right. Esposito will be out here for Indiana up front. Ethan Esposito with a Red Hawk stick of late. 8 points over his last 4 games. Heading into tonight. 17 points in 18 games with the Sentinels coming into tonight on 6 goals, 11 assists on the year. Colarusso will join him up front. And Denver Craig as well on the right wing side defensively. It'll be Colin Tracy. Matched up with Richard Colarusso on the back line, and the Sentinels win the faceoff to start period number 2. And here comes Colarusso, the center, and he rips it down deep into the Bobcats' end. Played by Borostek from behind his own net over to the near corner. Sentinels get some forechecking pressure on. Esposito trying to dig that puck free. He does on the left wing side. Ethan Esposito unable to get it toward the front of the net, though, as it's intercepted by Andrioli, cleared to center. And the Breakers, or the Bobcats, get it ahead now right wing side. A wrist shot by Nicholas Stuckless right on net. Handled and held on to by Kerr. 35 seconds into period number 2. So Kerr tested early on a shot by Stuckless as he came in through the right wing circle and was able to make the stop. Fresh troops out here now for both teams. Ashton Colasso ready to take the face off. He's out here with Glazer and Dawson as his line mates. Puck forced out to center from the face off. Ivanov and Pavlov are paired up on defense for Indiana. Puck loose outside the Blue Ridge blue line, and Dawson will handle it, play it back into his own end. And the Sentinels will start the attack. A long pass at center, getting a stick on it to break it up is Daly, and he'll scoot it down deep into the left wing corner of the Sentinels' end. Sentinels gain possession there. It's played off the boards to Glazer at center. He's got Dawson on his right. Glazer to Dawson in front, now to Colasso, and a big stop made by Borostek on Colasso. Excellent chance there for the Sentinels. Great puck movement, but Borostek able to keep it a 1-goal game. Sentinels on top 2-1. And the Sentinels now clear it through center and down deep into the Blue Ridge end. Borostek stops it and leaves it in behind his own net. for Igor Romano. Taking his time, now steps to the right of the net with the puck. Outlet pass at center, went off the stick at center ice of Demetrio and down deep into the Indiana end. Marian Pazitka gets to it there. Plays it to center, forced ahead by Lees. But it'll be an icing call as Lees apparently shot it just from the Indiana side of center red in deep. So icing called against Indiana, and they'll march the puck all the way down deep into the Sentinels' end for the face-off. With 1:53 gone here in period number 2. Sentinels and Blue Ridge again tomorrow night to close out the regular season series between these two teams. And then there will be one game left on the 5-game homestand for Indiana. That'll be on New Year's Eve. And it will now be a 7:30 Eastern time start. It was originally on the books as a 9:30 special start time for New Year's Eve, but it has been moved to 7:30. So Wednesday night we'll be here. Here is Lee's left wing shooting, blocked in front. Pazitka looking for that loose puck, but the Bobcats come away with it. Developed into a scoring chance there for Indiana. Radchenko to Martin, hustling back. Noah Hippolyte-Smith able to take the puck away for the Sentinels. They work it ahead to Esposito left wing, and he steers it into the near corner. Blue Ridge territory. Bobcats after it. Esposito pressuring in deep. We've got a penalty coming up, and it'll be against Indiana. Delayed call as the puck is rushed out to center by Daniel Martin, Indiana end. And as the Sentinels get possession of the puck, the whistle blows. And this will be the first penalty of the night against Indiana. Noah Hippolyte-Smith will go off. 2-minute minor for holding the stick at 2:48 of period 2. So it'll be a power play chance for Blue Ridge. Their power play on the season converting at a rate of 24%. Indiana's penalty killing success rate of 80%. And we'll see if the Sentinels can come up strong on this Ryan Furr creative penalty killing scenario. Face off, left wing circle, Indiana territory. Bobcats control, but they can't keep it in. It went beyond the reach of Romano at the left point, and he has to retreat back into his own end to settle it down. Romano delivers a pass on the left wing side to Reller. Tries to go back to Romano, broken up. Romano recovers at center. Leads it too far for Andrioli on right wing. It'll come down deep into the Indiana end. Pavanov there, and he wraps it off the near boards and out to center. So the Ryan Furr creative penalty kill successful thus far through the first 30 seconds of this man advantage for Blue Ridge. And Reller now circling near his own blue line with a puck. Hounded, slowed down by Anderson. Reller had it knocked away by Anderson. Short-handed, he fires it over the top of the crossbar. Anderson, great work on the penalty kill and nearly got a shorty right there, but just launched it a little bit too high. And the Bobcats will dump it back down into the Indiana end. Sentinels get to it. Pavanov will clear to center. 55 seconds to go on the power play opportunity for Blue Ridge. Puck at center goes off the stick of Colosso as Klinecki for Blue Ridge played it forward, and the Sentinels have it. Here's Pavlov to center. Vladdy Pavlov slowed down at center red. Martin able to take the puck now for the Bobcats. Colosso back, slowing him down. Stuckless now comes away with it. Sentinels in, slides it across, coming in for the left point, shooting one and having it blocked. On the left wing side is Gallagher, and the puck goes up over the glass and out of play. Pavanov shaken up a little bit, blocking that shot, but back on his skates and heading over to the Indiana bench. Good effort by Pavanov on this Ryan Furr creative penalty kill, and the face-off with 29 seconds to go in the power play will be in the left wing circle of the Indiana end to the stick side of Kerr. And from the face-off, the Sentinels control it, but they can't clear it out. Still some time to work on the Bobcats for the power play. They get it back to Gallagher, right point, looking, shooting through a screen. Stop made by Kerr. He's down, and the Sentinels clear the puck. Colosso does from the front of the net area. And all the way out to center and back down deep into the Blue Ridge end. Just 5 seconds now to go on the only power play chance that Blue Ridge has had tonight. Long feed at center went well beyond the reach of Stuckless. Comes deep into the Sentinels end. Bobcats quickly after it, and they put it on net, and the stop made by Kerr. On the shot from the right wing side by Daniel Martin, and the penalty is over. And the Sentinels successfully kill off their first shorthanded scenario of the night. Indiana 1 for 3 on the power play tonight. Blue Ridge 0 for 1. 6 minutes in penalty time against Blue Ridge, all in period number 1. The lone Sentinels liner came here in period number 2. Holding the stick minor to Noah Hippolyte Smith at 2:49 of period 2. Elliot Ruller on the face-off now for Blue Ridge against Anderson of Indiana. Sentinels control. They come away with the puck off the draw. Lees flips it through center and deep right wing side, Blue Ridge territory. Back for it, Erickson manages to clear it ahead on the right wing side. Roseth with it there. Damon for Ruseth, shoots it down deep Indiana territory. Sentinels after it, Terrain right wing, but it'll come to Andrioli first, puts it toward the front of the net. Coasting in front for Ruseth, unable to take the pass though. Kept alive, fired from long range, they score and tie the game. Left wing side, long shot by Justin Daly. Gets his team leading 12th goal of the season. And the Bobcats with an even strength goal have tied this game at 2 at 5:26 of period 2. Justin Daly leading the team in goals, gets his 12th of the year. Shots now all even at 15 apiece. And the Sentinels, after successfully killing off that shorthanded scenario, see the Bobcats cash in on an even strength goal to tie this game at 2. So the Sentinels need to go right back to work again. And the Bobcats off the face-off, fire it down deep into the Indiana end. Panovanov back after it. Works it along the right wing side. Picked up far wing, cleared out to center ice by Colarusso. With it at his own blue line now, Radchenko for Blue Ridge. Work it ahead, left wing side. Handling it, stepping into the Indiana end. Demetrio had the puck knocked away. Penalty coming up, and this is going to go against Blue Ridge. Delayed call, Esposito with a puck, left wing, tight angle shot, stick stop made. Esposito with it again now on the right wing side. And one of the Sentinels players is down in behind the play, and that's going to bring a whistle and a play stoppage. The initial penalty was coming up against the Bobcats, a delayed call scenario. And Joey Robb off the bench, Sentinels equipment manager and team staff out here to have a look at the Sentinels player who is down and holding a towel to his face. And now athletic trainer Doc Powell out there to give him a look. All of this with 13:55 remaining in period 2. And the Sentinels about to go to work on the Haas Insurance power play for the 4th time tonight. And the Sentinel player still down. We're unable to make out the number of who that is. We'll find out here hopefully in just a moment as he works his way to his skates and gets a hand from this crowd. That is Denver Craig. Still holding the towel to his left cheek, chin area as he heads over to the Indiana bench. And Craig is going to go off to the Sentinels dressing room right now. Doc Powell accompanying him to give him a further look, and this is going to be a double minor handed out against Michael Redmond of Blue Ridge. So a great opportunity for Indiana on the Haas Insurance power play. Double minor for high sticking. Against Michael Redmond. So 2 consecutive power plays coming up here for Indiana. And they'll have the face-off in the Blue Ridge end. Colazzo, Glazer, Tracy. Dawson and Ponovanov are the power play unit out here for Indiana. And the face-off will be in the left wing circle of the Blue Ridge end. Officials tonight, the referees Chris Hoy and Chris Rowe. Scott Gillespie, Jeremy McWalter are the linesmen. Game tied at 2. The tying goal came at 5:27 of period number 2, scored by Justin Daly. Robin Erickson gets the lone assist on the goal. Even strength goal, evening the game at 2. Colosso now ready on the faceoff. Left wing circle against Brandon Reller, stick side of Verostek. Off the faceoff, puck knocked in behind the Blue Ridge net. Bobcats get to it and they'll just hammer it through center down deep into the Indiana end. So 3:47 to go now on the power play opportunity for Indiana. As Colin Tracy carries it out of his own end to center ice. Tracy up left wing into the Blue Ridge end. Drops it off for Glazer. Skates into the slot. Had it poked away. Kept alive by Ponovanov. Out of the right of the net where Colosso's got it for Indiana. Back to Tracy shooting wide of the goal. Low on the glove side of Verostek, and the carom played by the Bobcats through center back into Indiana territory. 3:17 to go on the power play time as Ponovanov settles it down in behind his own net. Ponovanov looks to his left, delivers it now to Tracy at center, rolls it into the Blue Ridge end, but it comes promptly to Reller, who wheels it on the backhand down deep into the Indiana end. 2:58 to go on the Haas Insurance power play time for the Sentinels. Game tied at 2. Here's Glazer now off left wing. Dumps it into the right wing corner. Colosso gives chase. Gets to it. Leaves it for Esposito behind the net. Esposito got tangled up with Glazer, and that'll enable the Bobcats to clear the puck all the way back down deep into the Sentinels' end. 2:35 left on the power play time. 12:26 to go. Period 2. Esposito to center for Indiana. On the power play up left wing, feeds to the left wing corner to Jonas Lees with it. Skates free and behind the net, comes in front, backhander save made by Verostek, and he hangs on to it. Lees creates the scoring chance there with good work off the left wing boards. In tight, getting the backhander off. Verostek able to make the save. 2:21 remaining on the power play time for Indiana. If you get a goal in that first 21 seconds, you'd still have power play time left. It would click down into that second half of the double liner. Lees on the faceoff, left wing circle against Carson Gallagher. Puck knocked to the near boards off the faceoff, comes free to Colarusso on the left point, now to Esposito, left wing boards. Back to Colarusso again, fighting to keep the play alive. Lees over to help out. Colarusso up with the puck. Colarusso in a battle with Gallagher, and puck is cleared by Gallagher back into the Indiana end. 2 minutes now to go on the power play time. 11:50 left here in period 2. Sentinels with it. Esposito through center. Off left wing on the move. Cuts in deep behind the net. Plays it across to the far side to Colarusso, right point. Back to Esposito. Just does keep it in along the blue line, and then lost the handle on it, and the Bobcats have control. Gallagher back short-handed up right wing. Gallagher into the slot, open man there. Fanning on it, though, was Andrioli, and that'll enable the Sentinels to get a quick counterattack. Puck fed right wing side in front to Colazzo, and the puck in the net. The referee says no, play continues. And the Sentinels thought they had one. Martin back short-handed, knocked off stride, headed knocked down by Pavlov. And the Sentinels have it, and here they come to center. Colosso, and as he does, down is Indiana's Pavlov, being challenged, standing over top of him, Gallagher. Linesmen separate them. 1:25 left on the power play time for Indiana. And it looks like we're going to get more penalty time issued here. Gallagher will go off for Blue Ridge. Gallagher hounding Pavlov as the Sentinels started the breakout out of their own end. And that's going to result in some additional penalty time. against Blue Ridge. Officials conferring now. And again, we've had an issue with the clock. The penalty time that was remaining on the double minor for high sticking has popped off the board, so they will have to fix that. And they put an additional 2 minutes on the board against Carson Gallagher. And I think a couple of seconds it ticked off the clock after the whistle had already blown. So they'll get that all figured out. Get a look at head coach Everett Thompson for the Sentinels, who's keyed a big turnaround for this team. Coming on board with Indiana after the team had lost its first 6 games of the year and outscored 44-11 during that span. And Everett Thompson has coached the team to 5 wins since coming on board with the Sentinels, and home win number 1 last Saturday night, 6-4 over the Watertown Wolves on a great come-from-behind effort and excellent work by the power play in the third period. 3 power play goals, turning a 4-3 deficit into a 6-4 win for Indiana. And they should have some 2-man advantage time right now, and that's going to be the scenario. It'll be a 5-on-3. There's still time left on that high-sticking minor. A minute and 16, I believe it should be what's left on that high-sticking minor. So Indiana will have a 2-man advantage of a minute and 16 seconds as they put an additional 2 minutes on the board against Gallagher. Sentinels have it from the faceoff. Pazitka, left point. Delivers to Colazzo, hands back to Pazitka outside the left circle. Now to Colazzo in the high slot. Over to the right side to Romeo Terrain. Delivers to Colazzo, moving in through the left circle. Now to Terrain, open center point. Feed side of the net, Glazer. Tight angle shot, missed the net. Puck off the boards, Pazitka keeps it alive. 2-man advantage, Pazitka to Terrain, shot block. Colazzo keeps it alive. Left wing circle. Off now to Pazitka in deep. Back to Colazzo, looks, shoots, save, rebound. Terrain with it. Back to Colazzo, now to Terrain again, center point. Over to Colazzo, putting it in front. Dawson there, shot save. Oh, what a big stop made by Vorostek. Loose puck, right wing ward, Sentinels keep it alive. Glazer to Pazitka, moving in toward the net through the left circle, shooting, blocked on the way to the net. Putting his body in front to block it was Reller. Play kept alive though, Pazitka to Colazzo, left wing, out to Terrain, moving in, shooting, it deflects wide. Off the boards, Colazzo with it. Colazzo skates into the high slot, fire save, rebound, and they score! Pazitka left wing on the rebound, fires it home on the power play on the 2-man advantage, and Indiana is back on top. Marian Pazitka in the right place at the right time for the Sentinels. Defenseman in deep on the left wing side, and he collects his 2nd goal of the season. And Indiana will still have some power play time to work with. As that came on a 2-man advantage, it'll drop down now to a 1-man advantage. And the Sentinels are on top 3-2. They carried a 2-1 lead into the 2nd period. They saw the Bobcats tie it. And now Indiana goes back on top. Marian Pazitka, Slovakian native, playing in his 19th game in a Sentinels uniform. Off the face-off at center, puck shot into the Indiana end, caroms up over the glass and out of play. And I believe there are 49 seconds left. That's going to be the case. 49 seconds to go on the power play time for Indiana. A 5-on-4 on this Haas Insurance power play chance. And I think the officials want to get that all squared away. The official penalty clock here in the building needs to be corrected as they announce Marian Pazitka as the goal getter. So Marian Pazitka with the go-ahead goal. Great work on this power play unit. Ashton Colazo will get an assist. That'll be the lone assist on it at this moment as Pazitka fires it home from the left wing side to put Indiana on top 3-2. Marian Pazitka, rookie pro status with the Sentinels, and he's been a part of the team for quite a while now. Indiana's played 22 games up to tonight, and Pazitka has appeared in 18 of them. And Pazitka, a defenseman, gets his second goal of the season, and it comes at a great time for the Sentinels as the two-man advantage was winding down. They're going to add an assist on the goal to Romeo Terrain. So Terrain and Colasso assisting on Pazitka's goal. And still 49 seconds remains on the power play time for Indiana. As we cross over the midway point, we've got 9:58 to go. Period number 2. Jim Mirabello with you at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. Sentinels hockey brought to you by Sprague Hotel Developers. And the Sentinels with a puck at center ice. Carried along the right wing side by Indiana's Richard Colasso. Off now to Tracy on the left wing side. Tracy directs it across. Craig there. Craig steps toward the slot area. Backhands one, and Vorostek makes the stop. Not a lot of velocity on that shot, but those can sometimes be tricky, and Vorostek was able to get the glove down, make the stop, and good to see Denver Craig back out here after he took that stick up high. That resulted in a double minor penalty against the Bobcats. Michael Redmond. Face off, right wing circle. Blue Ridge territory, glove side of Vorostek. Draw one by the Bobcats. 19 seconds to go on the power play time for Indiana as they clear it all the way down deep into the Sentinels' end. Back for it from in behind his own net. Vladdy Pavlov of Indiana out to Potabanov on left wing. Good headman pass right wing side with it there. Colasso is shot in the stop. Is made by Vorostek, and the puck cleared to center. The penalty is over. Teams at even strength. Dawson up left wing. Will fire it in deep right wing corner. Dawson chasing it after it. Getting there first, though, Denis Radchenko brings it out to center ice. Headman pass to Gallagher, Indiana end. Gallagher slowed down now on the right wing side by Dawson. He's able to knock that puck away. It comes now to Andrioli at center. Glazer in tight defensively on him, able to knock the puck away, take possession of it. Lifted in the air and out to center ice with 8:40 to go. Period 2. Bobcats shoot it from center back down deep into the Indiana end. Pavlov's got it in behind his own net, double teamed. Trying to work through it. Pavlov with some help on the near side from Colasso, still having a hard time clearing it out. Bobcats pressuring with Gallagher, holding it along the right wing side. Gallagher looking to center, pass block. Puck comes out of the corner. Colasso for Indiana, able to settle it down. Skates with it ahead now and feeds Glazer. Up left wing, Blue Ridge in. Glazer challenged by Radchenko. Big, tall defenseman, 6'6", Radchenko. Through center, a long shot handled and held on to by Chris Kerr in net for Indiana. Stopping the clock with 8:03 to go in period 2. 24-16 are the shots on goal favoring Indiana. 2 power play goals and an even strength goal for the Sentinels. 2 even strength goals for the Bobcats. And the face-off will be in the right wing circle of the Indiana end. Reller for Blue Ridge against Noah Hippolyte-Smith of Indiana. Hippolyte-Smith able to win the draw back to Romeo Terrain in the near corner of his own end. He'll feed Ethan Esposito, who works it to center to Hippolyte-Smith. And as he tries to cut into the Blue Ridge end, it's an offside call against Indiana with 7:54 remaining here in period number 2. Noah Hippolyte-Smith, Esposito, and Craig up front for Indiana. Pazitka, the author of the go-ahead goal, out with Romeo Terrain on defense. Bobcats control the face-off. And in his own end, Igor Romanov feeds Reller right wing at center, and he'll chuck it down deep into the near corner of the Indiana end. Marian Pazitka back for it. Pazika starts to the right wing side of his own end. Plays it along the right wing boards. And out to center. Pazika grabs it there. Good hustle by Pazika toward the net, coming in against Romano, who slowed him down enough to prevent him from getting a shot off. Now Esposito with it to Pazika again. Long shot stick to side by Verostek. Tuck into the near corner terrain. Out of the corner with it. Works it toward the high slot. Feeds Pazika. Right point now to Esposito, left wing. Esposito rolls it in deep behind the Blue Ridge goal. Hippolyte Smith after it. Bobcats trying to clear. Pazika keeps it alive. Feeds Craig in behind the net. Craig tried to step toward the front of the goal, had it knocked away. Bouncing puck, Bobcats get possession. Reller through center. Left wing into the Indiana end. Long shot. The puck deflects and ends up going up over the glass and out of play. To stop the clock now with 6:53 to go in period number 2. And Indiana on top 3-2. The Sentinels have trailed only once in this game, and that was 42 seconds in. We've got another penalty coming up, and it's going to go against Blue Ridge. It looks like, well, starting to step into the penalty box was Andrei Simonchek, but now he goes from there into the bench area. I'm not sure if he just wasn't sure where he was heading to. He was walking in toward the penalty box and then came out and over to the bench. And they move the face-off outside the Sentinel blue line. Sentinels come away with a puck. Here is Anderson, left wing, putting it in front just beyond and on rushing Jonas Lees. And the Bobcats come up with a puck and they clear it to center. Kazirev ahead, right wing side with it. Shooting is Brezko, and that's blocked. Puck bouncing into the right wing corner, Sentinels territory. Tracy comes away with it in behind his own net. Colin Tracy of Indiana tries to feed right wing to Juwan Davis, one of the 2 new members of the Sentinels in the lineup tonight, but that's broken up. And shot back down deep into Indiana territory. Sentinels with possession. Anderson able to poke it out to center. 6:03 remaining here in the second period. 3-2 Indiana on top. Bobcats offside as they cut to the Indiana line. And that'll stop play. So Juwan Davis just coming in to join the Sentinels today. Young player out of Detroit, Michigan. Had a good collegiate career at New England College from 2019 through 2024. And he had a great moment in North American Tier 3 junior hockey when he was with the Metro Jets in 2019 before he started his collegiate career. Scored the game-winning goal for the Metro Jets to win the North American Tier 3 Hockey Championship that year. Has some time in the FPHL as well, mostly with Danville. 37 games with them last year. 1 game with Blue Ridge, 8 with Danbury. Wearing number 6 on the Sentinels jersey. Puck along the right wing side, Indiana territory. Bobcats dig it free. They get it toward the front of the net. Kerr able to knock it away as it was spread right in front by Klinecki. And then Kerr able to dive on the loose puck as the Bobcats try and get it toward the front of the net once again. Chris Kerr able to stymie the Bobcats on that scoring chance and keep Indiana on top 3-2. And the face-off after the play stoppage will be in Indiana territory. Same 2 teams go at it tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern Time, face-off. Hope that you'll be able to join us in person here at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. If not, we'll have all the action for you right here on Sporfy and YouTube. Sentinels off the face-off, have control of it. And they'll clear it all the way down deep into the Blue Ridge end, and this will be an icing call against Indiana. And they'll march it all the way back into the Sentinels end for the face-off. So this is game 3 of a 5-game homestand for Indiana. Game 4 of the homestand comes up tomorrow night in the final regular season meeting between Indiana and Blue Ridge. Then the homestand will conclude with a New Year's Eve game against the Port Huron Prowlers. It'll be their first appearance in the building this year. 7:30 on Wednesday night, New Year's Eve. Originally scheduled for a special New Year's Eve holiday start of 9:30, but the game time has been changed to 7:30, so make a note of that. And from the draw, the puck cleared to the near side of the Sentinels end. One of the Bobcats injured now, down on hands and knees in the right wing circle, getting up to his skates. That's Justin Daly. And this is going to result in a penalty against Indiana. Romeo Terrain got the stick up high on Daly, and Terrain will head off with 5:05 remaining in the second period. High sticking minor. And that'll open the door for Blue Ridge on the man advantage. This will be their second power play chance of the night. And they're 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Indiana on the Ryan Furr creative penalty kill. Success rate of 80% heading into tonight. The power play for the Bobcats checks in with a success rate of 24%. Bobcats arguing perhaps that they think it should be at least a double minor, but it's not going to be the case. But they pleaded anyhow with referees Chris Hoy and Chris Rowe. And the face-off will be in the Indiana end to the stick side of Kerr, who stopped 20 of 21 shots here tonight. Bobcats control. Radchenko at the right point with it. Radchenko moving laterally along the blue line as they set up the power play. Feed to the top of the right circle to Reller, and he sends a shot wide of the net. Bobcats work it back now. Left point area, handling it is Radchenko. He shoots one high and wide on the glove side. Karam off the boards from in behind the net. The Sentinels get to it as they battle to try and clear, but it's kept alive by Reller. Right wing boards. Reller out to Radchenko, right point. Radchenko steps to his left now to the center point, lets a shot go, scores! Radchenko from long range just inside the blue line, and it's a 3-3 game on the power play goal. So with 4:26 to go here in period number 2, we're all even once again. And the first goal on the power play scored by the Bobcats here tonight. And that took 39 seconds on the man advantage. And that'll spring Terrain from the penalty box, and we'll go back to even strength. The shot may have been deflected from in front as Radchenko took that shot, and they're going to credit the goal to Carson Andrioli. Power play goal to even this game at 3 late in period number 2. Bobcats on the move again. Briscoe, left wing Indiana territory. Hooks it back to the left point. Long slap shot, whistles well wide of the net on the big blast by Robin Erickson. Goes off the boards, up over the glass, and out of play with 3:51 to go in the second period. So the goal getter is Carson Andrioli. That'll be his 6th of the year. Dennis Radchenko, who took that big slap shot, he'll get the first assist on the goal. Brandon Reller assists as well on the power play. Andrioli, 6th of the year from Radchenko and Reller to tie the game at 3. With 3:51 remaining here in period 2. Shots 25 for the Sentinels and 22 for the Bobcats. 4 minutes in penalty time to Indiana here tonight. All 4 in period number 2. 6 minutes in penalty time in the first to the Bobcats. 6 more in period number 2 for their game total of 12. Indiana with 2 power play goals. Blue Ridge with 1. And a big point in the game right now, late in period number 2. Sentinels had a 2-1 lead. After 1, Bobcats tied it. Indiana jumped back on top 3-2, and now the power play goal by Andrioli evens it at 3-3. 3:51 remains. Second period, face-off will be in the left wing circle of the Indiana end, stick side of Kerr. wearing number 37 on his goaltender's jersey. Stick in the right hand, glove hand left. Draw to the stick side. Far circle, forced ahead, out to center ice by Colazzo, who had won the face-off. Bobcats poke it right back into the Indiana end. Bouncing puck, left wing side, getting to it in deep. Gazirev behind the goal trying to center, went off the side of the net. Sentinels up with the puck now, and they'll be able to work it out to center. As it was sent to center by Colazzo, trying to go to Glazer, broken up by Gazirev, and he'll wheel it right back down deep in behind that Indiana net. 3:17 to go in the second period. Indiana and Blue Ridge all even at 3-3 here at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena in Columbus, Indiana. Played by the Sentinels out to center, back into the Blue Ridge end. Bobcats come up with it. Daniel Klinecki able to work it through center, deep into Indiana territory to Martin. A shot from the right wing side as that play developed quickly, and right with it to make the stop for Indiana goaltender Chris Kerr. Moving over to his left, able to snag that puck and hang on to it. And will face it off in the Indiana end with 2:55 remaining in period number 2. It was a very tight game the last time these two teams got together. Bobcats won it 3-2 in overtime on a Justin Daly game-winning goal. 35 seconds into overtime here on the 29th of November. Sentinels clear it from the face-off out to center ice. Bouncing puck at center. Craig able to gain control. Moves it along the right wing boards. He's got Esposito cutting to the net. Craig couldn't get it through to him though. Now the Bobcats come away with possession. Room to work through center for Klinecki. Drop pass on the right wing side for Gallagher. Play broken up by Craig. Hustling after it out of the net to beat him to it is Vorostek. Boy, a foot race for the puck there, and Vorostek knew his only real chance was to come out and try and beat Craig to it and prevent him from getting a chance to walk in all alone. Sentinels deal it through center down deep into the Bobcats end toward the net. Vorostek will smother it with a glove, hang on to it. And that'll bring about a face-off in the Blue Ridge end of the rink with 2:09 to go here in period 2. Lease is out here now. Juwan Davis joining him. And Dalton Anderson up front. Vlad Pavlov and Ivan Panovanov are out here on defense, and the face-off will be in the right wing circle. It'll be to the glove side of Vorostek. Pleased to take it for Indiana against Reller of Blue Ridge. And Reller able to control, pulls it back toward the net. Vorostek plays it there, and the Bobcats clear to center. Panovanov up with it, skates quickly into the Blue Ridge end. Cuts in deep in behind the net. Panovanov now puts on the brakes. Steps back toward the area in behind the net. Fighting off a check from Romanow. And now as Panovanov and Romanow get tangled up, whistle blows, and we're going to have some penalty time handed out right now. Panovanov had his helmet knocked off, and that's going to result in a call against Romanow. We'll see if Panovanov goes also for Indiana. He will. He'll sit down, and it looks like it's going to be coincidental minors with 1:46 to go here in the second period of a 3-3 game. So Panovanov of Indiana and Igor Romanow of Blue Ridge each get 2-minute minors. That will carry over into period number 3 by 15 seconds. And the Bobcats have the puck for Roseth, trying to wheel it into the Indiana end, knocked away by Colarusso. Picked up, though, quickly brought back on the attack. Carson Andrioli for Blue Ridge, missing the net with a long shot. Puck caroms out to center. Austin Colasso slowing down Daly, but Daly comes away with the puck, delivers to Roseth on left wing Indiana territory. He gets slowed down by Colin Tracy. And the Sentinels come away with possession. Glazer, outlet feed to Colasso, left wing. Colosso feeds back to Glazer, or at least tries to, but it is broken up and fed back the other way by Daly through center into the Indiana end. 55 seconds to go here in the second. Sentinels with a nice move by Colosso at center. Steps into the slot, fans on his shot. As he worked his way into the slot area, but just could not get good wood on that. Otherwise, he would have had a good chance. Outlet pass stolen by Craig, right wing. Shoot, save made. Rebound loose in front of the net and getting to it right at the last second for Blue Ridge's Andrioli. 33 seconds to go in the period. Andrioli up left wing, hit by Glazer, but sends the puck in deep in behind the Sentinels' net. They battle for it along the boards, and the Sentinels gain possession of it. Pazitka is able to clear it to center. 17 seconds to go in the second. Bobcats quickly into the Indiana end. Terrain slowing his man down on the shot, stopped by Kerr on an opportunity that developed from the left wing side of the Sentinels end for Daniel Klinicki on the left wing. Kerr equal to the task, and the puck played over the boards and out of play with 7 seconds to go in the period, and they'll face it off in the left wing circle of the Indiana end. Noah Hippolyte-Smith ready on the face-off for Indiana, ties his man up. Clock down to 4 seconds. Bobcats get control, get it back left point, long shot blocked, and cleared by Pazitka as the horn sounds to end period 2. A very tight contest took place the last time these two teams met. Same way here tonight, 3-3 game after 40 minutes at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. Blue Ridge jumped on top 42 seconds into the game tonight. Robin Erickson scoring his second goal of the season. Nicholas Stuckless and Carson Andrioli assisting even strength goal for a 1-0 lead, 42 seconds into period number 1. Sentinels tie it at 4:06 on a Ryan Glazer goal. His team leading 13th of the season. Assists going to Ashton Colosso and Denver Craig. Even strength, 1-1. Indiana jumps on top 2-1. At 11:04 of the first, Nolan Dawson collects his 4th of the season. And it was a power play goal. Colin Tracy, Romeo Terrain assisting, 2-1 Indiana at that point, and that's how the first period ended. Sentinels outshot the Bobcats 14-10 in period number 1. To the second period we go, and Blue Ridge ties the game at 5:57. An even strength goal scored by Justin Daly, their team leader in goals. He gets his 12th of the year. Robin Erickson with a lone assist on the goal at 5:27 to make it 2-2. Indiana jumps back on top. Power play goal for Marian Pazitka. Slovakian native, Indiana defenseman, collects his 2nd of the year. Ashton Colosso assisting, Romeo Terrain as well. 2.9 for Terrain with a pair of assists on the power play unit. Power play goals number 1 and 2 for Indiana. Their 2nd and 3rd goals of the night. Terrain had a hand in, and Pazitka the goal getter. Colosso assisting as well to put Indiana on top 3-2. Bobcats tied with a power play goal at 15:35. Goal getter Carson Andrioli deflecting in a long shot from the point by Denis Radchenko. Brandon Reller assisting also. Power play goal at 15:35 to tie the game at 3. Shots on goal in the second period. 12 for the Bobcats, 11 for the Sentinels. 2 period totals. Indiana with 25 shots on goal and Blue Ridge with 22. 8 minutes in penalty time to Blue Ridge in the second period. 4 minutes in penalty time to the Sentinels. And let's update that with the minors that came right at the end of the period. 6 minutes in penalty time to the Sentinels. All of them in period number 2. And the Bobcats had 6 minutes in penalty time in period number 1, 8 minutes in penalty time in period number 2 for their total of 14 minutes so far on the night. Chris Kerr in net for the Sentinels, trying to collect his first victory of the season. And he has faced 24 shots according to the official score sheet here in this second intermission. Kerr for Indiana through 2 periods, facing 24 shots on goal, and the Sentinels with 25 on Hunter Barostek in net tonight for Blue Ridge. So that's the story after 2 periods here at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. It's still all online. The Sentinels 3 and the Bobcats 3. And this is Sentinels Hockey, brought to you by Sprague Hotel Developers. The Indiana Sentinels have won 4 out of their last 5, and they're coming off their first home victory of the season, a 6-4 triumph over the Watertown Wolves this past Saturday night. Their opponents tonight, the Blue Ridge Bobcats, have lost 4 straight, and the last time these two teams saw one another, Blue Ridge prevailed in overtime to score a victory over the Sentinels and ruin their bid for their first home win that particular night, the 29th of November. 3-2 was the final in overtime. John Daly's game-winning goal, 35 seconds into sudden death overtime, gave the Bobcats the win. Will the Sentinels continue their momentum, or will the Bobcats snap out of their 4-game losing skid? We'll find out here in the third period, all knotted up at 3-3 at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. Out-of-town scoreboard tonight. The Blue Ridge Bobcats have a 5-2 lead over the Watertown Wolves, and that game taking place in Watertown tonight. I believe I said the Blue Ridge Bobcats. That's the Binghamton Black Bears, I meant to say. The Binghamton Black Bears, who have won 12 in a row, have a 5-2 lead over the Watertown Wolves. The Black Bears 19-2-0, 0-2 on the year, 19 wins, 2 losses. No overtime losses, no overtime wins, 2 shootout wins. Only blemishes to their record came at Port Huron, 4-1 on November 1st, and 5-3 at home against Athens on November 14th. And the Black Bears, who've won 12 in a row and 19 overall, have a 3-goal lead, 5-2 in the third in Watertown. The Blue Ridge Bobcats running away with the Empire Division right now, 22 points with the lead for the division at the moment in the Empire, a 22-point margin off first place. Also tonight, a close one going on in PD tonight. The PD Ice Cats in the third have a 4-3 lead over the Athens Rock Lobsters. Athens 8-2-0 in its last 10. They had a nice winning streak put together. It was snapped over the weekend, last weekend, and they've got a 1-point lead over Monroe for the top spot. Things much tighter in the Continental Division. And the Monroe Moccasins certainly hoping that PD hangs on in the third. 4-3 PD leading the Athens Rock Lobsters in the third. Also tonight, the Columbus River Dragons on home ice have a 2-1 lead in the third period over the Twin City Thunderbirds. In Topeka tonight, the Monroe Moccasins trying to overtake Athens for first in the Continental. The Moccasins are up 2-0 in the second over Topeka. Down on the coast, the Gulf Coast, the Biloxi Breakers on home ice, trailing 2-0 to the Baton Rouge Zydeco. That is in the second period. One of the game was on the schedule tonight. It has been postponed. The Port Huron Prowlers at the Danbury Hat Tricks. And that game postponed here tonight. We're not sure of the reason for that, but they will not play, and they're not playing tonight in Danbury. The Port Huron Prowlers will be the next opponent for the Indiana Sentinels. They'll come to town for a New Year's Eve game this Wednesday night, the 31st of December, the final night of 2025. 7:30 is the start time. Make a note of that. It was originally on the schedule as a special 9:30 face-off to ring in the new year in the arena, but it has been moved to a 7:30 start time on New Year's Eve, 7:30, and that game will conclude a 5-game homestand for the Sentinels. This is game 3 of the homestand. Game 4 will be tomorrow night as Indiana and Blue Ridge square off once again. 7:30 Eastern time here at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. Then Port Huron on New Year's Eve to wrap up the homestand. And then the Sentinels will take to the road. They'll visit Port Huron on Friday, January 2nd, and then Saturday, the 23rd of, or the 3rd of January. Friday the 2nd, Saturday the 3rd to open the new year on the road in Port Huron. And then the first 2 home games for the Sentinels coming up in the 2026 portion of the season will be Friday, January 16th and Saturday, January 17th, when the Columbus River Dragons will be here. So that's what's coming up on the agenda for the Sentinels. Blue Ridge here tomorrow night, 7:30. Port Huron here New Year's Eve, 7:30. On the road at Port Huron Friday the 2nd of January and Saturday the 3rd. And then the Columbus River Dragons, after the Sentinels will start the new year out for a bit on the road. They will be home on January 16th and 17th to take on Columbus. Third period is about to start. Sentinels hockey is brought to you by Sprague Hotel Developers. Face off to start the third. The Sentinels attack left to right. Each team is shorthanded by a man off the coincidental liners late in the second. Those penalties will expire in 5 seconds. Colarusso into the Blue Ridge end on the right wing side. Colarusso wheels it in deep to Craig in behind the net. It rolls off his stick. Kept alive by the Sentinels trying to move toward the front of the net. Noah Hippolyte-Smith, puck knocked away. Teams at full and even strength now as the Bobcats come away with possession. They start into the Indiana end on the right wing side. Handling it, Kazirev right wing. Kazirev looking to center. Over to challenge him is Colarusso. Bobcats still with pressure on and finally able to get a handle on the puck for Indiana, but unable to clear it is Colarusso. Pressure still applied by Blue Ridge. They get it into the slot for a shot. Just rifled wide of the net by Daniel Konecki. He had a good chance there. Bobcats continuing to pressure. Konecki at the left point keeps it alive. This is the most sustained pressure that they've really had all night long. And finally the Sentinels step in. Esposito's got the pocket. He starts through center. Dumps it into the Blue Ridge end toward the net. It'll be stopped and held on to by Hunter Verostek in net down to our right. And the face-off will take place in the Blue Ridge end of the rink. 1 minute and 15 seconds into period number 2. So the Sentinels wrapping up this homestand Wednesday night. On the road for 2 in Port Huron, 2nd and 3rd of January, and then Columbus comes to town on the 16th and the 17th. Columbus, Georgia. It'll be our first look at them this year. And the Sentinels and the Bobcats all tied at 3, even strength now as the Bobcats send it down deep into the Indiana end. After it, Vlad Pavlov plays it out to center ice to Glazer, skating up left wing. To the left circle now, sends one wide of the net into the right wing corner. Sentinels after it, they try and center. It comes back to Pavlov at the right point. Over now, right wing Reiser's shot blocked. Another new face in the Sentinels lineup tonight, James Reiser making his Indiana debut. Wearing number 11 in that Sentinel blue. And in the right wing corner, we've got a battle taking place and some penalty time going to be issued. Nolan Dawson in the corner. And Andre Simonchuk of Blue Ridge. And they're each going to get sent off. Simonchuk and Dawson. 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the third period. Big, tall heavyweights there. Simonchuk, 6'5", 220. Dawson, 6'5", 215. And they're each going to get 2-minute minors. So it'll be a 4-on-4. Lease to face it off at center against Daniel Martin. And the Bobcats control off the face-off. Even strength, each team down a man on the coincidental liners. Lease gets to a loose puck, scores! Lease with some great presence there with the carom off the boards. Skated in and in one fine motion, blasts it home behind Hunter Verostek to put Indiana back on top 4-3. Jonas Lease, who's playing in his 19th game in an Indiana uniform. And Lease just reading the carom perfectly on what looked like an innocent-looking play, came in, grabbed the puck, did not hesitate, just hammered one full strength beyond Verostek to put Indiana on top 4-3. Jonas Lees, native of Yukon Territory, with his second goal in a Sentinels uniform. Here come the Bobcats back at the other end, and a big stop turned in by Kerr on the opportunity for Nicholas Stuckless. So Kerr comes up big there to keep the Sentinels on top. Puck in deep left wing side, Indiana Territory. Pazitka able to dig it free. Pazitka has a goal tonight for Indiana. He scored the team's third goal. Here comes Pazitka, outlets on the right wing side to Juwan in his first game in an Indiana uniform tonight. Juwan Davis. Bobcats, though, step in, force the puck out to center. Pazitka's got it, hands it to Davis, skates up right wing. Juwan Davis drop pass to Craig, moves into the slot. And Craig now handling it left wing as he's forced out to the far side, and he'll have to retreat to center to reset for the Sentinels. Here's Craig up right wing. Craig along the boards, cuts in deep. Craig in behind the net, sliding one in front. Tried to sneak it through to an oncoming Colin Tracy, but the Bobcats intercept and they clear it back into Indiana territory. Tracy with it there. Colin Tracy for Indiana. Tried to play it ahead. It went off Daly's skates and caroms all the way back into the Indiana end. Kerr settles it down and leaves it in behind the net, where it'll be handled by Richard Colarusso. Sentinels defenseman out of Massachusetts in behind his own net. Colarusso for Indiana will hand it now to Denver Craig, starting out of his own end. Craig can skate, brings it out to center. Craig tied up at center. Hippolyte Smith, though, takes over, hands back to Craig, settling it down outside the right wing circle. Minor penalties are over. It's back to full strength each way. Dawson after the puck on the right wing side. Dawson in behind the net. Slowed down, spun around in behind the net. And the Bobcats gain control of the puck. And they'll start to center. 4 minutes and 36 seconds gone here in period 3. Martin up with the puck now for Blue Ridge. Stepping in front of him, Pavlov to knock it away. It rolls in toward the net. Dawson cuts it off in front of the goal and settles things down now in behind the net. Indiana 4, Blue Ridge 3. Go-ahead goal scored by Jonas Lees here in the third period for Indiana. Sentinels Colasso up with the puck. Lee's goal unassisted at 2:27 off period 3. Bobcats play along the center. It's loose at center ice. Colasso getting to it. He collided with one of the Bobcat players, and the play is going to be whistled down on a hand pass. Hand pass is the call, and that'll stop the clock and bring about a face-off outside the Indiana blue line with 14:46 to go here in the third period. So a huge goal scored by Jonas Lees of Indiana to give his team a big spark here in the third period. After the Bobcats had tied it at 15:35 of the second. On a Carson Andreoli goal, Lees puts the Sentinels back on top. Indiana trailed only once in this game, and that was 42 seconds in. On the first goal of the night, scored by Robin Erickson. The lead did not last long, though. After Erickson put his team on top early, the Sentinels tied it on a Ryan Glazer goal at 4:06 of the first. And since then, the Sentinels have been either tied or in the lead. Head coach Everett Thompson not happy at all with the officiating crew, giving them an earful from behind the bench. Now calling his team together. They're up 4-3 right now, as the fans really start to get into it here at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. Chris Hoy, Chris Rowe, the referees still trying to keep order here. Conversation continuing with a heated Sentinels head coach Everett Thompson. He, along with quite a few Sentinels fans in this building, thought a penalty should have been called, and not going to be the case. And the face-off will be outside the Sentinels blue line. 5 minutes and 14 seconds into this third period. Ashton Colosso to take the face-off for the Sentinels. And off the draw, Blue Ridge able to come away with possession. Kazirev near the Indiana line, unable to play it in deep. Bobcats will get a second chance at it, though. They send it into the Indiana end, but Dawson right there hugs it out to center ice once more. And then Glazer after the puck. Glazer tied up along the left wing side. Colosso also right in front of the penalty box area. And the Bobcats come away with it, and they'll knock it into the Indiana end right wing side. They'll try and get it toward the front of the net. Good hustle to get over there. Colosso tied up with Konecki on the left wing side. Bobcats do get it in front of the net, and it's backhanded from in front of the goal just wide by Nikita Kazirov. And the Sentinels clear it out to center. From center, Radchenko rolls it right back down deep into the Indiana end. Kerr stops it, leaves it in behind the net for Vlad Pavlov. Indiana defenseman rolls it ahead to Panovanov in his own territory. Pavlov and Panovanov out here as the defensive tandem for Indiana. 13:43 to go in the third. Long pass at center. Off the stick of Juwan Davis back into the Blue Ridge end. Bobcats after it, and they try and clear. Dawson slows that down. Puck to center. Juwan Davis with it. Sends it slowly into the left wing side of the Blue Ridge end. And the Bobcats now will try and settle things down. Lees with the only goal of the third period. He's out on the ice right now with Juwan Davis up front and Anderson. Here's Reller, left wing for Blue Ridge. Slowed down as he cuts through the left wing circle, and Pazitka gets to the puck for Indiana. Trying to clear it out on the near side. Daly digs it free, but it comes right to the stick of Indiana's Jonas Lees, who's able to clear it all the way down deep into the Blue Ridge end and head to the bench for a line change. Romano with it at center ice. And in the puck to Daly on left wing. Try to go back to Romano. He was shouldered off the puck by Colarusso, and the Sentinels clear it back into the Blue Ridge end. 4-3 Indiana on top. Sentinels after the puck. Ethan Esposito with it on the left wing side. Sending it into the far corner. Noah Hibbolite-Smith after it. He's too well tied up. And the Blue Ridge Bobcats will come away with possession of it. 12:28 to go here in the third. They get it to Daly at center. Off to Martin crossing the Indiana line. Feeding it right wing to Feruseth. Shoots on the stop made by Kerr. Diving out. He has that rebound under control. And the whistle stops play with 12:19 to go. Good work by Kerr in net to prevent that second chance opportunity. And the face-off will take place in Sentinels territory with 12:19 remaining in the third period. And Indiana on top by a score of 4-3. Those penalties at 2:23, the coincidental minors, a cross-checking call against the Bobcats. Simonchuk and a holding minor to Dawson of Indiana. And those are the only penalties of the third period so far. Puck back in the Blue Ridge end now as we return to play. As the crowd really starts to get into it even more here, trying to cheer the Sentinels to their second home win. It'll be their second straight. Puck played into the Indiana end on the right wing side. Big jam up along the boards, and the Sentinels come away with it. Out to center, Colosso. Dawson cutting to the net. He leaves it. Now Dawson does for Glazer, who sends one just wide of the net. Puck in deep right wing corner. Dawson with it, keeping the play alive. Centers to Glazer. His shot, and that stopped. And Verostek out now. Will smother that rebound. Verostek way out of the goal to control that puck and cover it up to get a whistle and a face-off in the Blue Ridge end now with 11:32 remaining in the third period. Shots on goal, 30 for Indiana, 27 for Blue Ridge. Seven goals tonight, 7 different goal getters. Face-off, right wing circle. Blue Ridge territory, Lease will take it. Waved out of the circle, Stuckless So coming in now to handle it. And controlling the draw for the Bobcats. Milan Bresco. And they'll race it quickly to center into the Sentinels end toward the net. Kerr able to make a big stop there on a quick opportunity to develop out of the Blue Ridge end. Igor Romanov down the right wing side. And Kerr able to deny him to keep the Sentinels on top. Good chance there for Igor Romanov. Defenseman with just one on the year. And the faceoff will take place in the right wing circle of the Sentinels end. Glazer, Dawson, Pazitka, and Lees for Indiana. The goal getters. Erickson, Daly, and Andrioli for Blue Ridge. Face-off far circle Indiana end, and the Bobcats control. Juwan Davis, though, able to step in, knock that puck away. Still, they battle for it. And Daly up with it down for Blue Ridge. Right circle, shooting in the save made. Rebound, hammering away at it and being denied by Kerr is Daly. So Kerr facing a flurry of activity now in the Sentinels end and able to hold his ground and keep his team on top 4-3 with 11:05 remaining in the third period. Shots on goal are now even at 30 apiece. And this face-off will be in the right wing circle of the Indiana end. Pazitka out here, Noah Hippolyte-Smith. James Reiser, number 11 in that Sentinels jersey. His first game in an Indiana uniform tonight. Veteran player with a good bit of experience. Dating all the way back to the 2011 season. Sentinels with the puck. Esposito on the right wing side. Blue Ridge territory. Reiser after it as well. So the Bobcats gain control. Work it in deep right wing side. Indiana territory. Brandon Riller hit hard and knocked off stride and behind the net. Puck kept alive by the Bobcats. Radchenko center point off to the right wing side. Fanning on the shot is Feruseth. He had a good chance there but couldn't quite get it teed up, and the Sentinels clear it out to center. Bobcats really starting to come on now in the midway point of period number 3 with Indiana on top 4-3. Feruseth on the left wing side. Played it toward the front of the net and loose in front, knocked wide of the goal by Michael Redmond. He couldn't quite get it settled down. At center ice now, Reiser for Indiana. Steps into the Blue Ridge end down left wing. Reiser cutting in behind the net. He lost the edge on his skates. Goes down, pocket on the right wing side, and the Bobcats will gain possession of it. 9:57 now to go in the third. Feruseth of left wing, but the play is offside of the Indiana line. And the whistle is stopping play now. 9:56 to go, and they'll face it off outside the Indiana blue line. So James Reiser, 6'2", 200-pounder out of Sterling Heights, Michigan. Began his playing days when the league was known as the Federal Hockey League in 2011. Was part of the league from 2011 through 2014, playing with the Danbury Whalers as they were known at the time. Also with the New York Bluefins back in those days in the 2012-2013 season. Also skated with Watertown. And then was away from the league for a while and came back into action last year in Poughkeepsie, New York with the Venom. And brought on board with the Sentinels here today. He and Juwan Davis making their Indiana debuts tonight. And the faceoff will take place outside the Indiana line. Sentinels looking for win number 6 on the season, win number 2 on home ice. Right on the heels of their first home win Saturday night, 6-4 over the Watertown Wolves. Blue Ridge has lost 4 straight, trying to snap out of the funk that they're in. 3-7 in their last 10. Colazzo on the faceoff against Martin. Bobcats control. Puck shot by Simonchek in deep near side Indiana end. Sentinels with possession. Puck played out to center by Tracy. And then Dawson after it along the blue line, but Martin able to take control, and he starts up right wing. Martin, Indiana territory, feeds one through the slot. Open man with it, shooting and missing the net is Simonchuk. He had a good chance there. Tracy with it off the boards to Collazo at center. Over to Dawson up left wing. Dawson along the far boards. His shot on the stop made by Verostek. Loose to the side of the net. Laser trying to get to it, but the Bobcats get control. Can't clear though. Kept in Colarusso through the right circle. His shot hit Dawson on the way to the net. And that'll enable the Bobcats to get to it, and they clear it deep into the Indiana end, and it'll be an icing call against Blue Ridge with 9:09 remaining in the third period of a 4-3 game. The Sentinels have the lead. Sentinels hockey brought to you by Sprague Hotel Developers. I'm Jim Mirabello here at the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. And the Sentinels certainly have had a much better holiday week after that win last Saturday night, and they came out here tonight, fell behind very early, 42 seconds in, but have battled back, and they have either led or been tied throughout. And they're up right now 4-3. Anderson with it at center. Sweeps it into the Blue Ridge end. As the clock starts to become a bit more of an ally for the Sentinels, 8:45 remaining in the third period. Bobcats start to center. Puck played by Klinecki through center into the Indiana end. Kerr handles it in around the net, and with opponents coasting dangerously close, he will smother that puck, hang on to it, and we'll have a face-off in the Sentinels end with 8:34 to go here in the third period. Only penalties in the third were coincidental minors, 2:23 into the period. 2 of the 4 Sentinels goals tonight have been power play goals. 1 Blue Ridge goal has come on the man advantage. Face off far circle, Indiana end. Sentinels control. Puck comes to the right wing side. Dalton Anderson with it. Clears it down deep into the Blue Ridge end. Sentinels on top. 4-3 as the Bobcats. Daly has it at center. Hit by Pavlov as he crosses the line, and the Sentinels have the puck. Juwan Davis settles it down. Davis over center red. Gains the line on right wing. Leaves it now for Hippolyte Smith. Daly battling Smith between the lines, blue line and center red. And Davis now will get to the puck and fire it in deep and head over to the bench as the Sentinels bring some fresh personnel out here now with 7:53 remaining in the third. Faruseth through center up left wing. Leaves it for Stuckless left wing, and his shot misses the net. Sentinels with the care off the boards. Esposito steps with it out to center. Lobs it long into the far corner of the Blue Ridge end. 7:33 to go here in the third period. Bobcats with it. They clear to center. Terrain with it there. Waste no time. Clearing it right back down deep into that Bobcat end of the rink from behind the net. And it's picked up and skated out to center ice by Dennis Radchenko, and he'll bang it in deep off the boards and behind the Indiana net. Sentinels after it. Esposito trying to clear. Forechecking pressure on. Tracy, though, takes the puck and he'll lift it out to center. Romano at center. Throws it right back into the Indiana end net. On net. Kerr loved it. Sets it down for Colin Tracy. Outlets at center ice to Dawson. Skating up right wing at 6'5". Dawson in deep right wing corner. Dawson hit, slowed down. Puck taken by Romano. Far side of his own end, and he'll bring it out to center ice. Bobcats with it on the rush into the Sentinels end. A shot fired from the high slot by Redmond wide of the net. Puck in behind the Indiana goal. Pavlov after it hands it to Glazer. Over down to Dawson near side. He's challenged on the left wing by Redmond. And the puck knocked high in the air. It's bouncing out to center ice. Dawson gets to it. Dawson hit and knocked down as he came to the blue line on the left wing side by Carson Andrioli, but he managed to get that puck in deep. With 6:13 now to go in the third period. Indiana 4 and Blue Ridge 3. And the Bobcats with the puck starting out of their own end. A long feed at center ice. Grabbed and brought toward the net by Redmond. His shot wide. Karen fired just wide of the net again. As the Bobcats really starting to generate some chances now. Daly, far side of the Indiana end, knocked down. Sentinels try and clear. Can't. Kept in. Fired from long range by Martin. It deflects off a stick and goes up over the glass and out of play. And the clock stops now with 5:48 remaining in the third period. Indiana leading at 4-3. And they're going to call for the faceoff in the Sentinels' end. It'll be in the right wing circle. Anderson, Terrain, Davis, Lees, and Fazitka out here now for Indiana. Lees will take the faceoff in the right wing circle against Brandon Reller. Love side of Kerr, who's had a strong game in net tonight for the Sentinels. Indiana able to control. Jonas Lees has won a number of big faceoffs all throughout the season for the Sentinels. That's one of his strengths in the faceoff circle. And he's got a goal to go along with it here tonight. And the Sentinels with a puck cleared by Romeo Terrain out to center. Rolling slowly back into the Blue Ridge end with 5:22 to go. Outlet pass to Faruseth, left wing from long range, rolls it on net, stopped and held on to by Kerr. And 5:18 now remains in the third period. Shots on goal are all even at 31 apiece. Now we've got Reller a little bit upset, having some words with Colin Tracy. Linesman scoots Reller away. But then the little fracas continued by Nikita Kazirev. The linesman and the officials in there keeping order with 5:18 left in the third period. Strong, disciplined hockey has been one of the keys for the Sentinels in this run of success that they've had. And that'll be something that they need to keep in mind here through the final 5:18. Face off in the left wing circle, Indiana territory. Bobcats control, comes to Roman out with the left point, shoots through traffic, deflects wide. Left wing corner, the puck goes. Kazirev with it. Skates it out to the left point and then wheels it back down deep and behind the net. Taken there by Brezko of Blue Ridge, trying to center. Couldn't get it toward the front of the net. Puck carries into the far corner. Sentinels territory. Hippolyte Smith for Indiana tying his man up. Bobcats dig it free. They get it to the right point. A long shot whistles high and wide of the Indiana net. Long range shot off target by Stuckless, and the puck cleared by the Sentinels back into the Blue Ridge end. 4:40 now to go as the Bobcats start the attack once more, and they roll it down deep into the Indiana end. Pavlov back after it. Fights off a check and skates with it out to center. Pavlov on the move up right wing. Vlad Pavlov for Indiana, backhanding one from a tight angle. Glove held on to by Hunter Vorostek in net. And we'll have a face-off in the Blue Ridge end with 4:26 now remaining in the third period. And Indiana on top 4-3. The only goal of the third period came at 2:27, an unassisted goal scored by Jonas Lees, the Yukon Territory native, in his 19th game in a Sentinels uniform, getting his second goal of the season unassisted, and that has Indiana on top. Timeout now. Teams gathered around their respective head coaches. Everett Thompson for the Sentinels. Wojtek Zemlinka of Blue Ridge. Sentinels certainly know what it's like to struggle. They did that earlier in the year, and the Bobcats are doing that right now, having lost 4 straight and 3-7 in their last 10. Indiana has won 4 out of its last 5. And the face-off will be in Blue Ridge territory. Laser out here. Now they're all getting called back to the bench by the officiating crew. The timeout not quite over yet. And now it is, and they will get ready for the face-off in the Blue Ridge end. It'll be in the right wing circle. Glove side of Hunter Vorostek in his 21st game of the season. He and Anthony Schrum are goaltenders for the Bobcats. Face-off will be in the right wing circle to Vorostek's glove side. Colosso handling this draw for Indiana. Puck knocked to the right wing circle off the face-off. Glazer after it. Rolls now into the far corner, and Klinecki there to clear it to center for Blue Ridge. Loose at center ice, Pavlov knocking it ahead toward the Blue Ridge line. Redchenko with it. And Redchenko feeds it right wing for a long shot. Stop made by Kerr. Bouncing puck left wing side, Indiana territory, and the Bobcats have it. Right wing side Long shot wide of the net by Klinecki. Dawson after the carom, and he'll get it out to center and back into the Blue Ridge end. There to get it, Michael Redmond in his own territory, steps behind his own net. 3:44 to go on the third. Indiana up 4-3. Klinecki now carrying it to center, feeding Martin up left wing. Martin bearing in, shooting one wide. Low on the glove side. Puck caroms off the boards. Radchenko there, sending one toward the net. Blocked. Sentinels, Glazer trying to clear. After it also on the right wing side. Dawson bouncing puck. And Dawson over there with Colazzo, can't clear. Martin keeps it in, long shot fired it wide. Glazer gets the carom off the boards and finds an opening and clears it back into the Blue Ridge end. 3:10 now to go in the third. Here's Klinecki to center. Wheels it into the Indiana end. Puck goes to the right wing side, Indiana territory. There with it, Brandon Reller shoots it in behind the Sentinels goal. It rolls to the near boards. Juwan Davis after to try and clear it out. Lee's over there also. Two Bobcat players in, digging for that puck. Terrain now for Indiana to gain control. Gets it to Davis. Steps up right wing, brings it out to center. Played it ahead, it goes off Anderson's stick. Down deep into the area in behind the Blue Ridge net with 2:38 now to go on the third. Bobcats Daly to center. Rolls it into the Indiana end, right to Colin Tracy, and as he played it ahead, it's knocked out of the air with a high stick by Blue Ridge. And that's going to bring the puck all the way back into the Blue Ridge end for the faceoff with 2:30 remaining in the third period. Both teams still have their timeout available. And the faceoff will be in the right wing circle of the Blue Ridge end. Noah Hippolyte-Smith to take the draw for Indiana. Standing in against him is Brandon Reller. Left side of Hunter Verostek. Colosso, Esposito, Tracy, and Reiser out here for Indiana. Face-off controlled by the Bobcats. And they'll play it ahead on the right wing side, Indiana territory. Hippolyte-Smith, though, back to break the play up and clear it out to center. Puck picked up by Esposito. Long shot. Verostek is out to cut down the angle and stop that. And the Bobcats come up with a loose puck. Daly to center with 2:07 to go. Daly shoots it from long range toward the Sentinels net. Kerr stops it. Tracy takes over. Room to work. Far side of his own end. Tracy brings it to center and sends it slowly in deep. Down to 1:54 to go. And the Bobcats with a puck. Kazirev from in behind his own net. Goaltender heads off. Extra attacker comes on. 1:45 to go. Kazirev on the move. Sentinels in to Stuckless in toward the net. And in tight, he fired it. It looked like wide of the net. Puck kept alive and shot from the long range area high out on the right wing side. On goal by Romano and stopped by Kerr. And he hangs on to it with 1:35 remaining in the third period. Face-off will be in the Indiana end. Empty net down to our right. Goaltender Hunter Verostek off. Extra attacker on. And it looks like the Bobcats are going to utilize their timeout right now. To try and chart things the way they want it to go here in the final minute 35 off the face-off in the Indiana end. Pressure will be on Chris Kerr, and he's played well here tonight. He has faced 34 shots on goal, stopping 31 of them. Now they update the shot clock, 36 now for Blue Ridge, and 32 for Indiana, so 33 saves officially for Kerr at this point, with 1:35 remaining in the third period. Pavlov, Ponovanov, Colosso, Lees, and Dawson will be out here for Indiana. 6 skaters. Brezko, Kazirev out here for Blue Ridge. Among the 6 attackers. Face-off, right wing circle. Draw one by the Sentinels. Puck to Dawson, and he clears it. 1:29 to go. Bobcats, whether they play at the center. Loose at center. Ponovanov up with it, and he'll float it forward, knocked down to the Blue Ridge line. Bobcats have it. Quickly, they force it in deep into the near side of the Indiana end. Back after it, getting to it and clearing it is Pavlov to center. 1:10 now to go. Empty net down to our right. Bobcats in desperation time. The Sentinels leading it 4-3. Skating with it in his own end. Daniel Martin looks for an open man. 1 minute to go as he plays it ahead at center ice. Taken there by Brezko. Feeds it in deep. Near corner, Sentinels in. Chasing it after it, Kazirev. Puck knocked away, those Sentinels clear. Brezko up with it. 45 seconds to go. Brezko down the right wing side. Play whistled down as the puck caromed up into the Indiana bench area and out of play. 42 ticks left on the clock. Indiana leading it 4-3. Bobcats with their goaltender off and the extra attacker on looking for the equalizer. Chris Kerr and company trying to prevent that from happening. And giving the Sentinels their second straight on home ice. Noah Hippolyte-Smith on the faceoff against Brandon Reller in the right wing circle, glove side of Kerr. They tie one another up off the draw. Bobcats have it into the slot. They score and tie the game. Right from the faceoff, Brandon Reller able to rip it home as it came into the slot. And with 36 ticks left on the clock, it is a 4-4 game. So Reller scores. That'll be his 11th of the season. And 8 goals scored among 8 different goal scorers here tonight. So time to go back to work once again. 36 seconds remaining in regulation time. With the goaltender off, the Bobcats score to tie the game. Last time the two teams met, we went to overtime. Perusev down deep Indiana and tight angle shot fired in wide. Perusev with it again. Spins one toward the front of the net, but it comes right to Reeser, and the Sentinels clear to center. 20 seconds to go. Klinecki fires it into the Indiana end. Kerr stops it and leaves it in behind the net for Colin Tracy. Down to 10 seconds to go. Tracy from behind his own goal steps forward with a puck. Tracy to his own blue line, now to center red. Long shot, blocker to side by Vorostek, and time will run out. And just like they did the last time these two teams met, they'll go to overtime once again. Tonight tied 4-4. Last time it was 2-2 at the end of regulation. And the Bobcats won that one on the 29th of November here in Indiana, 3-2. Justin Daly was the overtime hero that night, 35 seconds into the sudden death overtime period. Game tying goal coming in 19:25 over the third period. Brandon Reller getting his 11th of the season. The lone assist awarded to Justin Daly. Even strength goal with the extra attacker on and the net empty to tie the game at 4. Teams will switch ends. Chris Kerr gets set in net down to our right now for Indiana. Hunter Vorostek will be in goal down to our left. It'll be a 3-on-3 in front of the goaltenders. 5 minutes sudden death overtime. If neither team scores in the sudden death overtime, then we would go to a shootout to decide it. We have had one game decided here in sudden death overtime at home, and that was that game that we just mentioned against Blue Ridge that they won in overtime. On the 29th of November. Let's see if the Sentinels can return the favor here tonight. So the teams trade goals in the third period. Jonas Lease at 2:27 unassisted to give Indiana the 4-3 lead. And it stood until the 19:25 mark on the tying goal by Brandon Reller. Set up by Justin Daly. Indiana will have Panovanov, Esposito, and Noah Hippolyte-Smith out here in this 3-on-3. The Bobcats will counter with their team captain, Daniel Martin. He'll be on the ice alongside Nicholas Stucklis. And Carson Andrioli. Kerr ready to go in net down to our right. Rostek in goal to our left. Noah Hippolyte-Smith on the face-off at center against Daniel Martin to start the overtime. Bobcats come away with it off the draw. Kozirev at center. Plays it back to his own blue line to Andrioli. Delivering it back to Kazirov, and he skates through center. Lots of room to work. Kazirov up left wing to Andrioli. Outside the left wing circle. Andrioli, dipsy-do with that puck. Skating laterally now along the blue line. Handing it back to Kazirov. Now to Martin. Brings it to the far side of the Sentinels end. Had it knocked away by Noah Hippolyte-Smith. Good work there by Hippolyte-Smith. And he'll start out of his own end with a puck. Hippolyte-Smith to center. Across the line up left wing. Bears in tight toward the net. Tries to jam one home. And the stop made by Rostek. Puck along the near side, and the Bobcats have it. Martin out to center. Here's Martin to the Indiana line. Martin skates in and fires one high and wide of the goal. Karam off the boards. Esposito with it. Turns into a 2-on-1 with Colazzo. Esposito right wing shooting. Save made, and the rebound swept away from the net by Rostek. 3:55 to go in the sudden death overtime period. Out to center ice, Riller. Indiana and Riller had it poke checked away by Panovanov. And Panovanov and Riller continue to battle. Panovanov comes away with a puck. Panovanov out to Glazer at center. Two men back. Glazer into the slot. Unable to get anything teed up. Daly able to grab control of the puck. Hand it to Konecki. And out to center ice to Riller on left wing. Indiana territory. Riller out on the high slot with it. Looks, shoots, fires it wide of the net. Glazer with a carry when the Sentinels counterattack. 3 men strong to center. Bobcats hustle back. Glazer in front to Colazzo, and he tips it on the backhand wide of the net. Puck out to center. Konecki up with it. Konecki across the line on right wing. Daly trailing the play. Daly takes the pass from Konecki. Skates in, shoots one. Save made by Kerr. Rebound loose in front. Sentinels come away with possession. Ivan Panovanov settles it down in behind his own net. Long outlet off target through center. Comes deep into the Blue Ridge end. Rostek out of the net. Handing it now to Radchenko. Lees pressures him. 2:45 to go. Sudden death overtime. Stuckless up with the puck now. Craig over to challenge. Stuckless had it knocked away by Craig, but the Bobcats retain possession of it, and they'll bring it out to center. Indiana in, puck knocked away, then recovered by Feroseth, right wing, and his shot goes wide of the Indiana net. As Feroseth had a chance there. Lees up with the puck now for Indiana. 2-on-2 through center with Craig. Lees steps up right wing. Lees moves in through the right circle. Lees had it poked away, and coming up with it now is Radchenko. 2:08 in overtime. Radchenko left wing. Look, shoot, save, Kerr. Rebound, Kerr's got it covered. He'll hang on to it, and the clock now stops with 2:03 to go. In sudden death overtime. 41 shots for the Bobcats, 35 for Indiana. And the faceoff will be in the Sentinels' end. Noah Hippolyte-Smith, Vlad Pavlov, and Ethan Esposito for Indiana. Martin Kozirev. And joining them, Andrioli for Blue Ridge. Bobcats tried to get it to Andrioli, but he couldn't keep it in at the left point, and he'll have to step back into his own end with it. 1:50 to go in the sudden death overtime period. With it now, Kozirev of right wing. Kozirev, Sentinels, and Bears in deep. Slowed down by Hippolyte-Smith of Indiana. Puck comes free. Andrioli with it left point. Long shot and a stop made by Kerr. Puck bouncing left wing, kept alive by Martin of Blue Ridge. Leaves it for Kozirev in front of his own bench area. Kozirev out now to center. He'll step out to regroup with 1:20 left in the sudden death overtime. Floats a pass to Daly at center. Here's Daly over center red. Daly to the Sentinel line, into the slot, makes his move to the net, and he's tied up from behind before he can get a good shot off. And Esposito starts back. Esposito with Dawson and Pavlov. Esposito right wing, high slot, holds up. 56 seconds to go. He'll step with it back out to center to settle things down. Esposito up right wing. Over the line, Dawson cutting to the net. Esposito had it knocked away and rolls out to center. Panovanov back to get it. Hounded by Konecki, steps away from him. feeds Dawson up right wing. Dawson to the top of the right circle. His shot right on net, and the stop is made by Verostek, and he'll hang on to bring about a face-off in the Blue Ridge end with 35 seconds to go in the sudden death overtime period. If neither team scores, we will go to a shootout to decide the outcome tonight. Colazzo for Indiana with Colarusso and Craig. Face off, right circle. Verostek's glove side. And handling the draw for the Sentinels, trying to force it to the front of the net, Colazzo, but the Bobcats prevent that from happening as Faruseth comes away with the puck and holds up in behind his own net. 25 now to go. Pressure applied by Craig on the breakout attempt by Radchenko. Now Radchenko able to break free, step through center, up left wing, Indiana, and tight angle shot, and that's wide of the net. Karam off the boards with 13 seconds to go, comes out to center ice, and the Bobcats have possession of it. Down to 7 seconds to go. Stuckless with it at center. Nicholas Stuckless, Indiana, and lost it to Craig. Time will run out as Craig brings it to center, and we will decide this game in a shootout tonight. Neither team scores in the sudden death overtime period, and it remains 4-4. Shots on goal in the sudden death overtime, 5 for Blue Ridge, 3 for Indiana. Game totals 43 for the Bobcats, 36 for Indiana. The Sentinels have been out shooting the Bobcats through 2 periods. The shots turned around though in the third, 14 for Blue Ridge, 7 for Indiana. And 43-36 the total on the night. In period number 3, we had 3 minor penalties dished out. Two minor penalties, coincidental minors. And we also had handed out a lewd, inappropriate gesture game misconduct penalty to Sentinels head coach Everett Thompson. During that big fracas at the end, a game misconduct to Everett Thompson in the waning stages of period number 3. So we go now to the shootout, and the first shooter for the Bobcats taking his time across the line, Justin Daly, moves toward the front of the net. Rister fired it wide. Daly aiming low glove side on Kerr, could not get it on target. And the Bobcats fail on their first attempt. Now the first shooter for the Sentinels will be Ryan Glazer, team's goal leader. He got his 13th of the year tonight. Left-handed shot up with it center. Here comes Glazer. In through the right circle, makes his move and just sends it wide of the net. He shifted back to the backhand. Didn't have a lot of steam on that shot, and it rolled just wide of the post on Verostek's glove side. Second shooter now for Blue Ridge will be Nikita Kozirev. Left-handed shot swings wide to his right. Kozirev in through the right circle, comes toward the front, puts on the move, and he's denied by Kerr. Kozirev with some fancy moves and stick handling in front. Kerr stayed right with him and was able to stop him. Now the Sentinels will get their second shooter. Boy, Kozirev with all kind of moves in toward the front of the net. 4 goals on the year for him. Tried to sneak it between the pads, and Kerr stayed right with him and denied him on the opportunity. Now for Indiana, it'll be Ashton Colazzo. 4 goals on the year. 5'8", 180-pounder out of New York in his 17th game in a Sentinels uniform. Some discussion taking place now along the Blue Ridge bench with head coach Wojtek Zemlika. And Colazzo was going to shoot. He'll head over to the bench, and Esposito will be the shooter for Indiana. Ethan Esposito, who's had the hottest hand of late. Left-handed shot up with it at center. Grabbing that puck. Flipping it ahead across the line. Moving to his left. In through the left circle. Makes his move and scores! Ethan Esposito has been leading the Sentinels surge. 8 points over his last 4 games. Overall, the Ontario native clicking in nearly a point per game. And he puts the Sentinels ahead in the shootout. Now it's up to Reller for Blue Ridge. Reller moving in, waiting, shooting, stopped by Kerr. Sentinels win it in a shootout. Kerr stops Reller. The Sentinels mob Kerr. Ethan Esposito with the goal that wins it. And the stop by Kerr on Reller preserves the victory here tonight for Indiana. They have won 2 straight now on home ice. And they are victorious in 5 of their last 6. And what a thrilling moment for the Sentinels here tonight. They salute the fans in this building who were loud all night long. They see the Bobcats tie the game with the extra attacker on when it was 4-3. They knocked the contest at 19:25 of the 3rd period. Brandon Reller tied it. Reller had a chance to tie it again in the shootout as the final shooter for the Bobcats, but Chris Kerr said no for Indiana. Kerr gets the shootout victory tonight. The Sentinels prevail in the shootout, 1-0. Ethan Esposito for Indiana, who's just been on an incredible scoring tear. And Esposito gets the goal that wins it. Kerr the save to bring the shootout to an end. And the Sentinels get the victory here tonight. That is victory number 6 on the season for Indiana, their 2nd straight on home ice. 6-15-2, the Indiana record overall. The Bobcats' losing streak goes to 5 games. This actually will go in the books as a shootout loss. But they are winless in their last 5, and Indiana will collect the points here tonight and get ready to face the Bobcats again tomorrow night. So our first shootout in Indiana Sentinels history on home ice goes into the win column for Indiana. Chris Kerr gets the victory in net. Ethan Esposito with a goal that wins it in the shootout. And the Sentinels prevail tonight by a final score of 5-4. Recapping the scoring, 42 seconds into period number 1. The Bobcats took a 1-0 lead. Robin Erickson scoring his 2nd goal of the season. Nicholas Stuckless assisting on it, and Carson Andrioli as well. Even strength goal. The lead did not last long. Ryan Glazer at 4:06 ties it. Glazer gets his team-leading 13th goal of the season. Ashton Colazzo assisting, and also Denver Craig. 1-1, and then the lead grew to 2-1 in favor of the Sentinels at 11:04, period number 1. Nolan Dawson cashing in. Dawson getting his 4th goal of the season. Colin Tracy assisting, and Romeo Terrain as well. 2-1 Sentinels after 1. Bobcats tie it in the 2nd at 5:27. Justin Daly cashing in his 12th goal of the season. Assist going to Robin Erickson. That's the lone assist on the goal, 2-2 at that point. Sentinels jump back on top in 9:57 of period number 2. Marian Pazika scoring. Pazika, Sentinels defenseman, getting his 2nd goal of the season. Assist going to Ashton Colasso and Romeo Terrain. 3-2 Indiana back on top. That was a power play goal. And then the Bobcats would tie the game in the late stages of period number 2 at 15:35. Carson Andrioli makes it 3-3. Andrioli with his 6th goal of the season. Assisting on it, Denis Radchenko. And also Brandon Reller, a power play goal, 3-3. At that point, Indiana and Blue Ridge all even as we went to the third. Sentinels jump on top early in the third. Jonas Lease for Indiana with his 2nd goal of the season. Lease unassisted at 2:27 to put Indiana on top. The 4-3 lead stood up until the Bobcats, with their goaltender off and the extra attacker on at 19:25 off a face-off in the Indiana end, score to tie the game. Brandon Reller with the tying goal, his 11th of the season. Justin Daly assisting, 4-4 at that point. And that's how the game ended at regulation time after 60 minutes. Indiana and Blue Ridge 4-4. Neither team scores in the 3-on-3 5-minute sudden death overtime. The Bobcats outshot the Sentinels 5-3 in the sudden death overtime period. And both goaltenders coming up with a couple of big stops in that sudden death OT. And then to the shootout we went. And it was Ethan Esposito scoring the lone goal of the shootout, and Chris Kerr stopping Brandon Reller as the final shooter for Blue Ridge. And Indiana prevails in the shootout 1-0, wins the game tonight by a final score of 5-4 for their 2nd straight victory at home, their 6th overall on the season, their 5th win in their last 6 games. Great performance tonight for the Sentinels. And in this game, no multiple goal scorers, everybody with 1 throughout the course of the night tonight. Multiple point nights turned in, though, for Indiana by Ashton Colasso with 2 assists, and Romeo Terrain with a pair of assists for the Sentinels. And for the Blue Ridge Bobcats tonight, 4 different goal scorers for them, and with multiple point nights. Justin Daly with a goal and an assist and 2 points. Brandon Reller with a 2-point night on a goal and an assist. And Robin Erickson with a 2-point night, 1 goal and 1 assist. Chris Kerr gets the victory in net for Indiana. That'll be his 1st win of the season. Hunter Vorostek tagged with the shootout loss tonight for Blue Ridge. The final shot totals: 43 for Blue Ridge, 36 for Indiana. 2 of the Sentinels' goals tonight came on the power play, and 1 for the Bobcats. So the Sentinels return the favor after they were beaten in overtime by this Blue Ridge team. Back on the final weekend of November, 3-2. The Sentinels and Blue Ridge scoreless in the 5-minute sudden death overtime tonight. For the Sentinels, win it in the shootout with Ethan Esposito getting the shootout goal that decides it, and Chris Kerr stopping Brandon Reller on the final opportunity for Blue Ridge. Reller with 1 goal tonight. He scored the goal that tied it with 35 seconds left. He was their final shooter with 11 goals on the season. Kerr shuts him down, and the Sentinels win it by a final score of 5-4. Same 2 teams tomorrow night, and we hope that you'll join us tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern Time, for our coverage from the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. Our thanks to Ryan Furr Creative, Ryan Furr, Jordan Vickers and company with the production, bringing Sentinels hockey your way tonight from the Hamilton Community Ice Arena in Columbus, Indiana. Sentinels hockey is brought to you by Sprague Hotel Developers. And again, the final score in a shootout tonight: the Indiana Sentinels 5, the Blue Ridge Bobcats 4. I'm Jim Mirabello saying good night from the Hamilton Community Ice Arena. This is Indiana Sentinels hockey.